and also the agenda before we invite our honored guest to speak. So our club is Greater Washington Entrepreneur Club. We were founded March this year, so it's only less than half a year, but we've done a lot, including today's amazing event. And our mission is we wanted to build an inclusive entrepreneur ecosystem in the greater DC area to empower innovation from aspiring entrepreneurs. And so you may ask, who does the club serve? Is it just entrepreneurs who have already started their company? The answer is no. We think that club will provide benefits to a wide variety of people, including entrepreneurs who are eager to turn knowledge and experience into personal values and financial success, including professionals who actually have a full-time job like me, but seeking for change and looking to start a second career. What we call is 第二曲线 in Chinese. And young students, right, with the minds and the drive to test their ideas in the fast evolving world. And even people who don't really have some good ideas on startup, but they are eager to network and to really connect with other people and spark innovation through collaboration. So we're open to all people, all ages. And then what can we provide to these people? And on a very brief level, and during the lunchtime, we'll provide more, but for now, very briefly, we will provide the resource sharing and experience exchange, and we will provide workshops and trainings, and such as the event today. And we'll also provide the startup project incubation, and then we help startup companies to further form their ideas and get investors, provide the mentorship, and all the resources that they may need. So this is what our club is about. And again, we'll hear more during the lunch session. So with that, we have a really packed agenda here today. So after this, then our first speaker, Dr. Tang Kai-Zhi, will talk about Agentic AI, the past, present, and future of Agentic AI and the entrepreneurial opportunities. I'll provide you a little more background about him right after this, and that's going to be about an hour. And then our second honored speaker is Troy LeMay-Stovall. He is the CEO of a venture capital firm, and he's going to talk about innovation and advanced technologies in Maryland, about half an hour. And then we have a club member startup pitch simulation. So this is one of the services that I mentioned that we really provide guidance and support to our members. And Kevin Ho, he is currently a club member, will present, and he's a startup, which is basically a Agentic AI applied to the pharmaceutical industry. And we have also 4 honored entrepreneur advisors. Ask questions, provide feedback in a way that will help him to further his idea and his efforts. And lastly, we'll have the lunch social that is a very open discussion, and so that people can really connect with each other. So with that, then let me just introduce our first honored guest speaker, Dr. Tang Kai-Zhi. Dr. Tang Kai-Zhi is really a leading AI and data science expert, and he has experience across multiple industries and also across the US and China. Sorry, I need to get his full bio. Because it's a lot, I won't be able to remember it. So he's a founder of Wisdom Chain, and that's where he leads the development of AI-powered quantitative trading system for financial markets. He's also CTO of SoulBody and co-founder of two mental health startups, where he created an LLM-powered platform that doubled online systems and transformed user engagement in digital psychological services. So all of these are his startup efforts in the finance and psychological area. And his main full-time job, if that's not enough, is the principal data scientist at Anywhere Real Estate. And he's been driven AI adoption in real estate, creating tools like natural language search, consumer chatbots, and an agent co-pilot engine used by over 300,000 agents to boost efficiency and service. And before his current effort, he actually have even more diverse industry experience and research leadership. He worked at Alibaba, and he worked at China Business Network and Intelligent Automation Incorporation. And in these roles, he led projects in e-commerce, supply chains, aerospace, and healthcare, securing more than 8 million in research fund and published more than 20 papers. Education-wise, he held PhD in operation research and AI from Penn State and bachelor and master degrees from Tsinghua University. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Tang Kaizhi to give us the speech. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the nice introduction. And today I just want to give a talk about this. Okay, good. About this agentic AI technology, and I will cover more from the industry trend and also some use cases I developed maybe in the last few months. Yeah, basically I will talk about emerging this agentic AI trend, okay, and also history of agentic AI, and maybe give you an overall understanding what it's about. And also it's talking about 4 generations of agentic AI technology and look into the past and also the future. And also talking about how implement agentic AI, maybe even all of us can have a try today, okay, to do some using some we call the no coding and coding platform, okay, to do some work. And then finally, we will maybe share some my points about how to win in this called AI era, AI age. I don't know whether you heard about the story about this is happening in the beginning of this year. It's called Manners. It is from China, and this guy, the young guy, did a short video and is saying that they're building a called general purpose agentic AI solution. Okay, that can help you building website, building PowerPoints, and writing long articles and long reports, and to do this kind of things. And so they get some good funding from Silicon Valley. Okay, they get about $70 million US. Okay, and this is very rare. Okay, Chinese company. So it's starting from here. Okay, so it's a lot of discussion about the agentic AI, and many people saying this is called the starting year of agentic AI. And AI has been for a long history, and generative AI has been long history also, but this agentic AI, this is the first year. If it goes back, because I'm tracking this industry, and in the last year, okay, this NGO, maybe you guys heard about him. He's a professor, used to be a professor of Stanford University, and also he teach deep learning, very well. And he used to be a chief data scientist of Baidu, okay, and then he come back and he funded several companies in the education, in the mental health area, and he is a big influencer in this AI industry. Okay, even last year, I think it's last September something, and he's calling that the rise of agentic workflow in AI. Okay, so people when we talking about AI, we're talking about writing some prompts and to getting some answers, but here we're talking about a flow. Okay, how this prompts can be connected and to do things for you. And see, I think later
We don't see Dr. Tang's slides. Please show his slides.
so the big pusher, okay, in this AI because relationship with OpenAI. But he's saying that this whole industry, the SaaS industry will be changed. Okay, so in the future, we're talking about software. We're not talking about SaaS. We're talking about agents. Okay, so rely on the existing platform, or maybe of course Microsoft has its own platform, Meta has its own platform, Google has its own platform. In this platform, okay, the agentic AI can be embedded there, and the people will get the capability of the AI. Okay, another thing I want to share is that I used to be, my PhD thesis is about the multi-agent system using reinforced learning to study supply chain. Okay, at the moment we're building called the multi-agent system is trying to, building the agents staying everywhere and that they can communicate, they can coordinate to finish some big tasks. Because of the AI capability 20 years ago, it's not that advanced. Okay, so that area is coming down. Okay, but these days it's become more active because the AI capability is there. Each agent can really have some good intelligence and they can coordinate with other agents to do big tasks. Okay, so that's revive the research and development in this industry. Okay, if you guys in the research area, DARPA used to sponsor a very big project. It's called UltraLog. Okay, they want using multi-agent system to simulate all the logistic utilities in the military. Okay, they hope these agents, because they have some self-organization, robust capability, so that even some facilities get hit, their whole system can be recovered. Okay, that's some trend. I just tell you that it's very big things is happening in the industry this year. Okay, and because of this agentic AI. So what is the agentic AI? Okay, so if you look at this diagram, okay, when we're talking about AI, especially generative AI, usually we're talking about we give some input. Okay, this is a large language model, and he will give you output. Okay, so that's called the generative AI. Basically, you use ChatGPT, even especially in the old days, and you type something, large language will give you a response. But agentic AI, it means besides this, he integrated a lot of core tools. Okay, this tool, if you think this is the brain of human being, okay, this tools is corresponding of hands, eyes, or ears. Okay, this is called tools. Okay, these tools will get information to the large language model. At the same time, you can do something. Okay, for example, I hit this. Okay, this is hot. Okay, the large language model will sense this and he will take the right actions. Okay, so basically you will see this. He will connect more information. He's observing. He will look and to reformulate the response. This became a something called feedback loop. Okay, with this feedback loop and the accuracy, the response of the accuracy, and also it's connecting the real world has largely improved. Okay, so even of course these days it's talking about this agent stay in your computer. Okay, so your computer has camera, has a microphone. Okay, he can write on your disk. Okay, he can connect with a lot of cloud service. Okay, so this is computer it became the real agent over there. Okay. And you can see these three key capabilities coming to being. One is called reasoning. Okay. Second is called memory. It's the tools. Okay. So this is corresponding to the human being design. Okay. You have to have reasoning capability. Okay. You can solve math problem. You can solve some algorithm problem. Okay. You have some good memory. Okay. You can remember the most recent ones, but if it's possible, you can trace back into very old memory, very old material you speak or heard or you captured. So this is agentic. It's a simple, okay, the most atomic agentic AI framework. We're talking about reasoning. Okay, reasoning is very important for the large language model. This paper is published before the ChatGPT was released at the end of 2022. Okay, so they're talking about in this large language model, we need some good reasoning capability. Okay, so starting from there, if you using ChatGPT, the ChatGPT released called O1 model. Okay, last year, and also recently DeepSeek is R1 model. This is called reasoning model. Okay, so it's based on the large language model, but has good capability to solve math problems, logical problems. Okay, can really like a human to reasoning about this world. Okay, so that's a reasoning capability. Okay, so if you look at this table, I list all this happens in the last 3 years almost. Okay, the reasoning capability. Okay, ChatGPT has 3.5. There's no reasoning capability. It's just a language model. Okay, and starting from GPT-4, yeah, I want to share something about what's reasoning capability. What's the language capability? Language capability is basically, you can think it's maybe I would say high school student. Okay, he learned all this language and he can speak. Okay, but the reasoning, it really means he can do math. Okay, he can solve logical problem and he can build in some strategies and some algorithms to solve the problems. Okay, so all these things you can think they rely on this called chain of thought is one of the important concepts, and also reinforcement learning. And these days it's a multi-stage training and reinforcement learning. That's DeepSeek is using that, and this is also improving. Okay, people are investing new algorithms and new strategies to work on that. Another thing is about memory. Okay, memory. If you guys using the large language model in the beginning, it's called 4096. Okay, that's the length of the large language. You can see memory. Okay, so every time he can only hold so much of tokens. They call tokens. Okay, so I think in 2003, okay, the whole industry is trying to how to expand this. They're using a lot of ways try to expand this. Okay, but if we observe the history, okay, it's increasing. Okay, starting from 4096 and double. Okay, right now the maximum is Google Pro, Google 2.5 Pro. It's 2 million tokens. Okay, 4096 is just a couple of pages. Okay, so this 496 can hold even half of the library or a lot of materials. Okay, so why we need memory? Because as human solving problem, okay, if I want to solve problem, I have to collect all my materials on my desk. Okay, then I can start to solve the problem. For the large language model, AI is the same. Okay, when he want to solve the problem, he had to grab all the information into the memory and try to start and solve the problem. Another way is talking about tools. Tools is starting, ChatGPT is doing the first thing in this area. First it's called function call. Later has been largely extended into the GPT store. There's a lot of tools inside that. Okay, as I explained about tools before, it's basically corresponding to the hands and eyes of the large language model. Okay, this is one of the things. It's called, this company is still there. It's in the industry, the first company. They're trying to emulate a person to operate a browser. Okay, purely through natural language. So basically, you know, when we're doing browser, okay, we need click, right? And we need to read and click. But they're trying to say, instead of doing this, how about we just speak, okay, using voice and using text and tell him what to do. Okay, so this is the first thing. This has been even enlarged. Is about this called Cloudy. Okay, they called lower act. Okay, you can check. It's open to use. I checked last night. Okay, before it's just research because we are connecting with Amazon and they're trying to work with us, find a good use case in us. Okay, so basically it's trying to emulate a user, okay, to just speak, and the large language model connected and they can operate a computer. So we can see this from reasoning, memory, and tools. Okay, this is a very important capability for the agentic AI. Okay. Okay, let's come back to some generations. Okay, this is called first generation. It's single agent. It's reflect the first diagram. Okay, but it's a simple way. Basically, this agent, okay, he has a planner, he has a memory, he has reasoning, he has tools. Okay, he can do everything in a program. Okay, he can do everything about that. Okay, and then people are thinking about how about multi agents, 2 agents, 3 agents working in the same system. So that means that tasks can be divided and the communication can be synchronized. Okay, so they can working just like in a team. Same, for example, in this team, okay, we have for example discussion panel. Each discussion panel has an agent. Okay, this agent can talk with each other to, we need to vote. We have some mechanism. Okay, for example, later the person who is presenting, we can vote. Okay, and we can negotiate. Okay, so this kind of mechanism can be automatically happen among the agents. There are many technology or platform built on this. One of them is called Crew AI. You look at the name, okay? He is trying to emulate a crew of people, okay, who can working together, okay? So like maybe a news agency, okay? So there's maybe about 10 people. Someone is collecting information, someone is doing editing, someone is trying to evaluate, and this kind of workflow is there, and so they can working together. This is another Microsoft release. It's called AutoGen. Okay, it's a similar way. Okay, so basically they're trying to emulate the brain for multiple people, and they can working together. The third generation is called multi-agents across computers networks through MCP. Okay, so MCP is a new concept released by Amazon at the beginning of this year. Is widely adopted, okay, in the industry. Only half a year, many big companies is adopting this protocol. So this protocol, it means it's just like they call it USB, okay, of the AI industry. Okay, so basically it's if you have this plugged in or enabled, okay, so all the agents whenever it is, okay, if they have internet, okay, they can talk each other. Just like we can talk with some friends in China if we have Zoom, it's connected and we can talk with them. So right now with this MCP protocol, okay, all the agents everywhere can talk. Okay, so if you guys search on the internet these days, there's a lot called MCP server. It's open. Okay, you can do many things as you want. Okay, so this is called it's connected. I called Internet of the Agents. Okay, Internet of the Agents. Yeah, this is just showing the cloud. I will skip. The fourth generation. This is even crazy. Okay, those people is who is building this. Android operating system is from Google. Okay, they're saying that we want building everything in the operating system. So we were rebuilding the operating systems. Okay, from the beginning. This is driven by the AI by the AI agents. Okay, so yeah, if you heard about that, and because of the AI, we can using AI to transform and maybe reformatting every industry. Okay, but these days he's trying to change the fundamental things, its operating system. Okay, so that's even crazy. But just started. We will see how it goes. This is a big effort. Okay, so if this is saying okay, this will be very big. Okay, just you can think it's iOS and Android is new operating systems coming to beam. Okay, so yeah, this is any questions? Okay, I'll speak quickly and maybe I'm all excited and I just want to share with you, okay, what's happening in this industry. Okay, and
excited too.
excited too. Okay, it's good.
Please continue to be excited.
Now I will show some practical things. Okay, so basically when we say, oh, agent is so powerful, right? It could be everywhere. What it can do? I can even say we're not developers. Okay, we are not IT persons. Okay, what we can do? Okay, so I will share some ideas. One is called low coding agentic AI platform. Okay, so basically you don't need to write any code. Okay, and you can build in your own agents. Okay, there's a lot of tools you can use. First, Microsoft is Copilot Studio. Okay, and Amazon has Amazon Q. Okay, this is because there's two guys, and also there's some open source and called Zapier, Make, and M8M. Okay, so I will share one of the examples called N8M, and it's end-to-end. Okay, so basically this tool is he can integrate a lot of called the load operators. Okay, so you can connect it together. Okay, so for example, he can read your emails. Okay, he can check your WeChat messages. Okay, he can maybe call represent you to call your friends. Okay, and maybe he can monitor you to invest. He can monitor the stock market. Okay, monitor the real data for stock market. Okay, he has all these capabilities. This is called tools. As mentioned, the tools in the AI agentic AI workflow is just like our hands and our eyes. Okay, so basically with these tools you can easily connect it with many things. But at the same time, he is very easy to be integrated with this large language model. Okay, just click, and you will see that. Okay, so I did things. I asked this NM to emulate myself. Okay, it's more like my digital clone. Okay, and I did some exercise, and you can scan this. You have Telegram, you can talk with him. But let me share a small video so that you can easily see that.
I have Telegram on my.
Yeah, you. Voice is not here.
The video has started, but we don't hear the voice of the video.
这个 video 没放出。是。
Think you need to, yeah, share screen. Let's stop for a second. Yeah. Yeah. When you get there.
Check voice.
Entire screen. Oh, this
Yeah.
this one. Yeah.
Voice check voice.
Stop sharing.
Did I not stop?
No, it's the engine.
I can't move there. That's the problem. I don't see the slip interface.
Yeah, we should mirror these two things. Okay, don't just mirror. Yeah. Sorry for some.
It showed up on the top.
Yeah, it's better to mirror these two. To
So let's see. We'll need this.
Which one? Maybe you want to share. Yeah, I can drag here if you want. I can drag the video to here. Just and yeah, don't say we can drag here. Yeah.那就还是share这个吧。
我跟他 upload 的 Telegram，然后你说在 Telegram 里头 scan 那个 code 是吧？
对。
Somehow 我们找不到 stop sharing 的那个。这不是它是 extended。
对 extended，yeah extended。你能够去掉这个 extended，不要 extended。
I think that's clean to screen.
Yeah, no, it's this one.
Duplicate.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone this one.
Entire screen, no?
In sound.
Okay, yeah, entire screen, please.
Welcome, Troy.
Okay, great.
It's a very exciting demo.
Do video.
我用 NAM，就是我刚才介绍的这个Agentic AI Workflow 的工具，做的一个我自己的数字分身啊，就叫 Open Wisdom，OK，也叫开智 ，OK，它基本上这是它所有的这个逻辑的组成呢啊，我们是用这个 Telegram 作为终端，然后我用 N8M，就是我刚才介绍的这个Agentic AI Workflow 的工具。做的一个我自己的数字分身啊，这个名字就叫 Open Wisdom， 也叫开智 ，OK， 它基本上这是它所有的这个逻辑的组成呢 ，OK， 我们是用这个 Telegram 作为终端，然后呢可以接受文字和语音的信息，然后呢这个Agent 可以进行这个回复 ，OK 回复包括这个理解你的内容进行回复。同时的话呢，我们有一个叫做纠偏的这样的一个能力当我们发现回答的有些不对的时候，我们可以补充信息我们也可以就是进一步的指导他应该怎么样做 ，OK 那基本上是这样的一个，那我们来试一试，好吧？试一试看看它怎么工作的 ，OK 那我们先启动这个 workflow，OK， 启动这个 flow， 我们来先问一个。最简单的问题 ，OK， 就是说你是谁？好，我们可以看到它在计算一步一步的这个问题很简单 ，OK， 它就基本上就回答了，就是说I'm 开智堂 ，a scientist, an innovator, and a person of faith committed to integrate knowledge, compassion, and purpose， 就是这样的一个介绍。好，那我们下面再试一试这个语音怎样让我能高兴起来，每天都能高兴呢？我们可以看到，处理语音了把语音转成文字进行回答，正在回答的过程当中就是很多这里他就告诉你一些怎么样去每天高兴的一些做法，包括感恩的心做自己喜欢的事保持积极的心态关爱他人平衡生活这样的一个方面 ，OK。好，那我们再来问一个你创业过吗 ？OK。
Yeah, so before it's just showing the workflow. Okay, this workflow is manually built by me, and he will accept the input from Telegram. Okay, so he will using text to response, and you can see this part, this is the brain. Okay, this is a large language model, and for other things, you can think it's a tools. Okay, he's getting messages, and after he generates some text, and he will send back to Telegram. Okay, so this is the things. Okay, then we're doing some testing. So just now we did text testing is asking who are you, and the second testing is about how to make me happy every day. Okay, so it's what is my advice to you? my digital clone advice to you how to make happy every day. Okay.
啊，他这个是一个全文的刚，他说没有创业过，但是有许多创业的经验。OK， 这个其实不是很准确啊，可能当时在做这个提取的时候有一些问题。那我们可以来借助来看一看，就是说这个他怎么样去纠偏。OK， 好，我们同样启动这个流程。OK， 啊，那就是说我们用这个 \feedback 啊，这是一个特殊的词，就是给他反馈了。OK， 就补充他有创业经验，是心灵密友的创始人。OK。好，那我们可以看到，哎，它就在这里，哎，就 summarize feedback， 然后进行一个这样的一个纠偏啊，正在计算啊，纠偏的过程当中 ，OK， 然后呢，它可能需要一点时间，有时候纠偏需要一点时间的 ，OK， 啊，正在进行计算。
So here we just share another use case. It's for example, yeah, because it's digital clone. Okay, make clone that complete clone. Okay, so when you're using it, you will find that he may miss something. You may want to you add something new, and in this way, okay, so that you can in this way to make him to remember something more, to adjust in some strategy to answer your question. So this is done by AI also. It's another flow of AI. So this is sometimes we call this advisory of AI or something this way. Okay.
我有问题啊，你这里头，English, sure, sure, sure. 这里the voice is yours, right? The voice is yours. The
Yeah.
image is you, right?
Yeah.
So basically, it's like somebody in the cloud talking like you. So you call it digital cloud, right?
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Right. Thank you.
So it's not your previous recording, like what we.
No. It's not recording. It's a digital. Basically, you can ask them. Yeah.
It's generated on the spot based on contents. It's not really.
Oh, this is it's output. There's no voice. Output is always text. Okay. So this is my video. It's just a video. Okay. So okay. So basically, I asked he grab all my material, some of material, my resume, some publication, okay, some even some reflecting of my thinking. Okay, so I put into this called they call system prompt. Okay, so basically it's instruct this large language model to represent me, to answer question, to response. Okay.
But I see an immediate danger.
Yeah.
Suppose that if I ask her, what kind of woman you like?
Maybe he will.
This will tell the truth. Well, the kind of woman you like, not your wife's wife.
So it's not for this purpose. Okay, maybe he
Dangerous, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them.
就可以有点长啊，这个
let me finish. Okay.
正在进行 revise prompt， 就是修改它整个的这个系统的提示啊，修改完成了 ，OK， 好，修改完成了，这就是基本上这个 workflow 啊，大家都可以去建立自己的这个数字人啊，按照这样的方式 ，OK， 啊，我们其实也可以把这个重新部署上去 ，OK， 就变成 active， 那它就一直在跑，然后呢，我们可以在这个execution 这边去跟踪它 ，OK， 可以去跟踪它的这个最新的状态。那我们再来回答，一些问题 ，OK 你对创业是怎么看的？创业需要怎么样进行呢？好，他看在这里，他就启动了，开始。
He's asking about how to start up. Okay, so
yeah， 他就说创业本身是 这样的一个
Okay, just reflect my
有
thinking.
尝试
Okay.
认证的团队。OK， 我看你是信仰上帝的，你觉得上帝跟创业有什么关系呢？
Yeah, he's asking the relationship between God and the
计
startup.
算
It's a crazy idea. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he
是
said
一个深刻而美好的问题。
it is a
上帝与创业
deep
的关系，
and
使命
beautiful
光明
question.
领导责任啊，我觉得挺能反映我的一些想法的啊，非常的好。OK， 非常的好。好，我就先介绍这些啊，挺好的。
Yeah, this is just show example. It's for education purpose. It's not for real deployment. Okay. If you want to play, you can play with it, and maybe you get more understanding about me. But basically, in the future, I'm thinking everyone can have their own digital, clone. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. And also, this talking about this M8M. Okay, if you guys want to play, okay, it's free and you can definitely play. Okay, and also there are many other things. Right now, I'm talking about coding this agentic AI. Okay, so there's a lot of tools as I mentioned, Crew AI, semantic kernel. This it's also from Microsoft, and this agents SDK is from OpenAI. Basically, it's just like an API. Just I did many years ago building multi-agent system. We have some Java SDK, and using this and to building of agentic workflow. Okay, and let me see some. Yeah, this is one. It's a small video I'll show immediately. Okay, this is a workflow. Okay, this one is I call the perseverant family education or perseverant parent. Okay, I'm thinking I have this challenge basically. Handle my daughter is it's tough. Okay, I need some support. Okay, so and we lose patience and we were desperate. Okay, but AI will not do that. Okay, so in this way, I'm thinking one of the important things is AI need to help me to remember. Okay, remember what about me? What about my daughter and over the history, and also he can provide guidance to me if I question. I can provide guidance for me at the same time. He need to be able to maybe train me. Okay, I'm building some training agent. Okay, every day to train me, give me some tough scenario, asking me to respond and evaluate my response. Okay, this is about. Let me just watch this small video.
是我们最近开发的一个用于家庭教育啊，特别是陪伴青少年孩子成长的这么一个智能体。我们把它取名叫做 Perseverant 这个 Family Education Agent 这个 System 重点就是说怎么样能够持续怎么样能够不丧失信心，怎么样有 patience 能陪伴青少年的成长有些青少年是非常的怎么讲？非常的让父母闹心然后也比较皮实甚至因为现在的这个网络环境孩子们的这个心态都也不是很好所以出现很多的问题。那我们这里有一个假设的一个用户一个状况我们首先是要录入这个孩子的这个信息我说一下整个的这个流程整个的流程是我们不断的可以录入孩子跟家长的信息同时的话我们这里有3个智能的部分结合在一起工作第一个就是说
So we were talking about a very tough scenario. Basically, this daughter is 14 years old, and he don't sleep, So and also he want to eat overnight. He asks the mom to order some food at night. Okay, and also this mom is very obedient to the father. Okay, so he's so worried. Okay, so he think a lot of ways to help this children, but many times he's very desperate.
我们可以去咨询就你这个孩子和家庭的情况去咨询一个导师我们叫做理想父母导师这就是扮演一个咨询师的一个角色。另外一个呢，我们有一个叫做理想父母的一个训练 也可以认为是一个教练。OK，那这个咨询和教练有时候是 combine 在一起的现实中，但是在这里我们是把它这个分开，因为他们的流程是有些不一样。OK，那训练的话主要是提供一些实际的场景，然后看看这个父母的回答，然后对回答进行评价。然后呢，咨询的话那就是问他问题另外就是我们还有一个定时的产生这个报告的部分。OK。那我们来看这个孩子的信息这个孩子其实是一个14岁的一个女孩，然后呢，她已经请假休学了，然后昼夜颠倒，半夜叫妈妈点外卖，要求妈妈带她去医院带多次，但中药西药不爱吃，一次吞药进入了 ICU 的经历后，经常划伤手臂，有这个自残的这个情况然后这是她主要的一个问题那家长呢是一个38岁的妈妈，然后呢她非常的害怕爸爸 OK， 所以呢所以是比较温顺的一个妈妈 OK， 然后呢他有面对困难，有巨大的压力，非常关注这个女孩的健康情况，能够和孩子进行有效的沟通能够，但是呢，也是无能为力。OK， 所以呢，我们就会看到有这个咨询因为这里都有一些现诊的数据他就会有很多的这个倾诉很多的情况，比如说孩子又打游戏了，不知道怎么办才好。OK， 那我们可以看到，就是说作为智能体，我们是有一个结构化的一个分析比如说问题的识别、心理动因的分析，还有一个应对的一个建议，还有一个理论的依据，还有一个鼓励语。OK， 这是也是我们专家给我们的一些模板。OK。
So this part is try to learn from experts, okay, some very experienced psychologists, okay, in this family education area. They will give guidance. You can think they're scripts, okay. So we'll learn from that and then put into the AI.
然后我们继续问这样的一个情况 OK 这边的话就会提到他抑郁症住院了，然后呢这个睡觉打呼噜2位这个病友就说这样的一个情况我们继续对他的识别这些的话可以提供给家长朋友一些具体的一些建议也是一种情绪的安抚 OK， 有时候我们在兴头上的时候或者说就会发生一些冲突但是这样的一种智能体特别是把专家的这种经验植入到当中以后可以在一定程度上帮助到他。另外一个就是我们一个叫做父母的训练训练的话，我们可以看到就是说产生一个场景 ，OK 是一个什么样的场景就是说最近对家庭状况不满，然后家里总是那么紧张，然后呢就要求这个妈妈作为回答，妈妈回答以后呢，她会进行一个评价以后就这样子 OK， 那这样的话呢，可以不断的去训练这个妈妈然后让她能够很好的不断的得到一些喂养也得到一些在各种艰难情况下面知道怎么样去应对。
Yeah, second part is talking about the training. Okay, so we consulting and training.
因为日本考古挖出来的东西，要么带汉字，要么就刻有中国的名称。2018年，日本对仁德天皇陵进行了考古挖掘，墓中就出土了许多中国魏晋时期的文物，而且墓中的结构与这一时期的也高度相似，再加上秦朝时徐福东渡的传说，所以日本害怕考着考着就会东渡。为什么第一的美国却从来不考古？明面上说是历史太短，自1776年美国宣布独立开始，满打满算一铲子下去。
There's something called guardrails. Okay, so some sensitive information and they will reject your response. Okay, but depends. Even you go to Chinese large language model, there's a lot of guardrails. So it's politically oriented. But here it's mainly about some it reflects American culture and American values and some things you may not to do that. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's move forward. Time is up. Okay, so the another case I will skip. It's about this one's perseverance. It's about it's about the house, tree, person evaluation. Someone draw some house and tree. This is psychology, okay, problem, okay. You guys can play, okay. Link is here, okay. It's open, okay. So if you just register, you can play with it. So I will skip this moment, okay. So do some wrap up, and so basically, I think agentic AI will be everywhere. I fully agree with Microsoft CEO's point. Maybe in the future, we don't need to develop an app or whatever, because there's a lot of existing platform. Okay, you just need to make your workflow working, maybe in a chatbot, maybe in some application, and to do that. Okay, but here I'm talking about from different aspects, and I'm thinking maybe, and some of my colleagues are thinking about this way. Everyone can have your agent, okay, from different aspects. Thinking agent is take care of some part of your life. maybe only 5 minutes a day. Okay, so there's a lot of ideas here. At least some ideas I share with you. For example, live logistic coordinator. So everyone, you have calendar and you have schedule, and yeah, maybe agent can take care of you. Okay, don't mess up. Okay, and also for the second category is for office worker. For office worker, maybe someone they need someone to read my emails. So many irrelevant emails. So I think even my company email account, 90%, since I don't need to care. Okay, so can you make an agent to maybe delete emails for me every day, but don't delete it wrong. Okay, this is some scenario. Okay, so and also can use to draft your document and then write your work, and even this is to do coding. Okay, for it's coding, as you know, in this industry, it's changing so rapidly. Okay, so right now I used to type code. These days I don't type code. I just speak. Okay, I tell him what is my architecture, what is the constraint, what is my requirements, and AI, you do it. Okay, so it is working on that. Another one is about the startup. Okay, startup and business owner. Okay, basically for lead generation. Okay, this is AI can help a lot on the lead generation. Okay, maybe to active seeking potential customers, or maybe set up some protocols and some pages, and to active talking with someone to reach your page. Okay. So there's a lot of things we can try. Okay. Another thing is about maybe some deep agents we can build. This is if you want to do a general like manners and to do a general agents, that's very competitive. Okay, these big guys is watching you. Okay, but in some specific area, for today I shared for this perseverant parents. Okay, to build this one. Okay, this one maybe it's small. Okay, it's small, but it's useful for you and for your family. Okay, so this one you can try to build more about that. Okay, and also one of the things I mentioned about the algorithm trading. Okay, I might have my own way to do X trading. Maybe there are millions of people to do trading, but I have my own way. I want my agent to do in my own way. Okay, so it's so personalized. You can build in so personalized AI agents to help you. Okay. Yeah, another one is because AI is coming from the world is called machine learning. Okay, machine learning, the basic principles is that he have some, as I mentioned before, he has some self-correction mechanism inside. Okay, so I'm talking with my team and saying that machine learning should be everywhere. Okay, especially with this agentic AI. Before, if we wanted to do machine learning, we need to hire some data scientists, hire some machine learning engineering to do very tough coding, to do complicated mathematics. But this is with AI, it's not that complicated. Okay, there's some existing mechanism you can use, and also AI by itself is learning every day for you. Okay, so but we have to thinking about how to store the learned knowledge, the learned experience, and to help you. Okay, so yeah, thank you, and hope you get something from my talk. Okay, yeah, and yeah.
Thank you so much. That's very interesting. It's also very thought-provocative to think about a digital twin. So maybe next time,
Learning AI. Just
anyway, questions from the audience.
I'm learning AI. Learning AI.
Martin.
That's,
I have a couple questions.
AI can
One
do
of
for
really question, but the AI is just very early stage. People is overestimate, overvalue AI right now. We have class AI. We found that either DeepSeek or ChatGPT is only all the answer is at least 50%. So for example, if we found our university, you always go to again TED. So I can tell this one, who's the Martin? They give all the different. Okay. So I think we said we emphasize AI will change our life in the future, but right now is still in the very baby stage. We cannot overestimate the AI. For example, if you want the AI to help you do business, I tell you truth. 100% fail. Business model cannot copy. You cannot ask AI call you how to beat the market. It's never success. That's what my point.
Thank you. Do you have a question?
Yeah, what my comment? So
Yeah. Basically, you mean I called globally, or maybe you think AI will just replace human as in the science fiction movie? And that's still not there. Okay. But today I'm thinking from the practical perspective. So the AI can do something, as I mentioned, to help you to check your emails. Okay. To save your time. Okay. And also to help you to find some potential customers. Okay. Maybe using some web scraping and to looking for some things. And also you don't have so much time to talk with so many customers. Maybe most of them will fail, right? So if, for example, even 1% or 0.5% of conversion rate is even good. So 99% of my time is wasted. You can think it's wasted. Okay. So in this way, maybe AI is just is running 24 hours. Okay, it's working for you. So I'm talking about something is pretty mature, daily life. Okay, you're doing this every day, but you need to spend time. Okay, but the AI jump in, maybe can save you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour can work. Okay. So that's I'm talking about very practically. Okay, I'm doing this every day. Also, I have so many agents running for me every day. Okay, so otherwise, he's generating articles for me and to getting potential customers, and he's getting financial data and to digest and to help my strategy building. Okay, so he's doing this work for me every day. Okay, so I'm talking about this. Needs some good time. For example, if this part is mature, and some smarter AI will come out, starting integrating all this together. Maybe at that moment, AI can do more than we expected. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you.
Sorry, we're a little tight with the time, but we'll have more time to communicate for questions during the lunchtime. So let's move on. Showing.
stop sharing.
Yeah,
Mouse.
I think this worked.
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah, distracted. Okay. All right. So now let me introduce our second honored guest speaker, Mr. Troy Lemel-Stagel. I hope that I did not mess up with your name pronunciation.
You're great. You did it.
Thank you. So Troy is the CEO of TEDCO, which is a venture capital firm in Maryland with more than 200 million asset under management, more than 60 million operating budget, and 2.7 billion impact. So Troy himself has extensive executive experience, investment experience, and board expertise and governance. As a strategic advisor, he has led or co-led over 3 billion in capital raises and held senior roles at institutions like Howard University, Zenith Education Group, and Jackson State University. And he also held multiple board-level positions for for-profit and nonprofit organizations. He's chaired key committees and influenced in areas of strategy, M&A, capital formation. He himself is an entrepreneur at heart. He founded Lemel-Stagel LLC and also co-founder of Gulf South Capital, the recognized speaker and writer on venture capital, higher education, and inclusive economic development. Troy holds degrees from Southern Methodist University, Stanford, and Harvard MBA. He has earned numerous awards and recognitions, and when I saw his bio, I but I'll look here. He was awarded as the most admired CEO and tech titans. And last but not least, in his personal life, he is a high athlete. Let's really give a welcome to his wife.
他才放飞了自我，体重才长了起来。高敏表示，全红婵面临的不仅是体重问题，还有心理问题。体重的增加，就会越来越吃力，而且更加容易受伤。而且以前全红一直只是个产预期争议，面临更多的所以必须要调整好自己的心态。最后，高敏祝福道，真心希望全红婵能突破难关，在今年的全运会上。
Where? This is the problem of operating other people's slide deck.
You need AI tool.
Yes. Okay, I found the deck. And
Yep, that's it.
all right, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
That's it.
Sorry.
You got it.
Yes, I got it.
You got it.
Oops.
And
Okay. And one more step.
one more time. Double click it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
You want me to maneuver it or you want to do it?
Is it which is this? Which how to go? How do I?
This one.
Which
Yeah,
one?
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not showing up here, but it's up there.
Okay.
so-
Got it. Nope, noted. Again, good morning. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, Delegate, for inviting me. No problem. So I am I'm very excited to be, I'm gonna do a couple of things. I'm gonna introduce myself. You're gonna find, you just heard I spent some of my career in higher education. So I'm gonna take you all back to school. I'm gonna have a little lesson on Saturday morning. And we're gonna do some learnings, we're gonna do some history, and then we're gonna do some projection. All right, fair enough? But as I think about this thing called, well, you can go ahead and go to the next thing. So I like having fun. And so one of the things I like to do, I like comics. As a matter of fact, just last night, my family and I went to go see the new Fantastic Four.
怎么数的？能过去一半了。
And so I love Opus. If you don't
感觉
know,
你还没有休息到。关服了。
in the United States. And so this is the Penguin is one of the key characters. And the reason I wanted to put this one in here and talking with you all, because I'm going to let you into my mind. I'm going to let you into my mind. And so you're going to maybe see some stuff maybe you don't want to see in my mind. And so, but the problem is, like he says, sometimes the problem with opening up your mind is people keep putting stuff into it that you don't want. So that's going to, so I want this, the point of this, I want this to be a conversation. I want this to be a conversation. So I welcome the conversation. I welcome you challenging me and challenging where I'm thinking and what I'm going to say to you today. Okay? You can go to the next one. So I said I'm going to introduce myself. You just keep on going. So I'm going to introduce myself first of all. So I lead TEDCO. TEDCO is for the state of Maryland, our venture capital. We do three things for the state of Maryland. We do economic development. We do venture development.
Share slides. Share slides.
Her pitch book. PitchBook has named TEDCO one of the top venture capital organizations in the Mid-Atlantic. Just last year, the NASDAQ, our logo was in the NASDAQ there in Times Square because of the work that we do in investing in underserved communities. So we're very excited about the work that we do. And just so you also know, so from a credentialing point of view, thank you for the intro. I am an engineer by training. I'm an engineer, computer scientist by training. I've gotten degrees from some place you probably heard of, Southern Methodist University. I know. In Dallas, Stanford University. I got my computer science degree from Stanford University.
We cannot see the slides.
Harvard. I've worked at places, some places don't even exist anymore, like Southwestern Bell. They now are AT&T, and I used to work at Bell Labs.
Here is another Bell Lab guy. Thank you very much.
I was at Bell Labs.
Anybody else Bell Labs here?
I was at Bell Labs.
Their systems. It's a huge system.
Yeah, Bell Labs is the old telephone system. The real quick story on Bell Labs,
这台
when
是
you go to
你
Bell
专
Labs,
注领域时间。
you can't
一、拆掉非承重墙体，改做铝合金收纳柜，抽拉式设计，瓶瓶罐罐收纳，再包金属门套，装上银属，
virus.
配方又通透。 二、
Please
一来
share the
5
slides.
买下
Please
去，
share the
并且
slides.
全部气质台，美观还没卫
They
生
would
巾。
send me
三、
Stanford,
中间器材挖壁龛，洗
they
漱
pay
用
for
品
everything,
上
and
墙，
then pay
拔
me
去眼睛档
75%
等等，
salary.
拿
I
取
would have
超
made
市
it
水，
back.
关上不能
What
被
a deal.
下面放吹风机和电动牙刷。 四、
But here was the
一个
deal.
区
Here
包
was the
管
deal. So as a,
沐
my
浴用品上
undergraduate
墙收
degree
纳，
was
地
electrical
面下
engineering.
沉4公分，
I
铺
was
的
going to go be
粗的铝砾
one
基
of
石，
the,
防滑
I
防
figured
水，
out, by the
再
way,
做
during
隔
the
断干湿的
undergrad,
底。
I co-op for a
之
place
前
called
预埋了
Rockwell
冷水
International.
箱，安
I
装
was
壁
actually
堵
just,
板，
I have a
排
patent.
列要预
I
留
designed
点
some
地，
first,
还能
first
放海绵箱
software
区，上方再做口柜，收
on
纳
a
纸箱
microwave
底后，
radio
侧边
to
挖洞
allow
进
you to
水，
remotely
上面
control
放
the
纸巾，
microwave.
下面放纸篓，最后装上平开门，卫生间完美
Oh,
丝。
I'm getting aging
增强
myself. A
别人
digital
好
equipment
中国人
corporation,
一直追这个
PDP
火，
that's
推
the
拿厂设计师花了不少钱。其实我们还有找设计师呀，就是用的月球
So anyway, the problem was Stanford said
只要你
nobody had
生
ever
活习
Stanford
惯，
reported
后台
nobody had ever gotten
Can
a
you hear
master's
us?
orders who would come with an undergraduate degree in electrical engineering. Because you got to take courses out of sequence with one another. So Bell Labs said, okay, fine, we'll give him one extra quarter. We'll give him 5 quarters. So they do it. So I do it. So what do? I go out there and I get it done.
Can you hear us?
Killed me. I mean, it was the hardest academic thing I've done in my life. So I stayed an extra quarter, but they ended up moving my job, Bell Labs did, from outside of Chicago to New Jersey. I did not want to go to New Jersey.
没不大选的
So
这个
I
事
ended
儿
up，getting
因
a
为
good
我
job
是
for
聊
Bell.
到
So
现在
you're welcome.
下午4点钟，
I went to Naperville.
人
I didn't want to go to New Jersey.
Okay, you don't want that.
But God has a way of sending you where He wants you to go. So when I ended up going to McKinsey, I ended up working in New Jersey at the New Jersey office in McKinsey. So God sends you where He wants you to be. And so I've had the ability to have some wonderful careers. I started a family office, so that's how I got into venture capital. I started a family office for a guy named John Palmer. None of you probably heard of John Palmer, but some of you may have heard of this company. John Palmer was a founder of SkyTel. Again, I'm aging myself. The old paging company, the real first advanced paging company. John Palmer started that company, and I managed his money, and I still advise him on his money. So we started his family office, which was called Gold Stock Capital. I did that after I left. I did that after I left McKinsey. Then I started my own company because John became the ambassador to Portugal. So when he did that, he had to divest, and so I took on a number of those investments and did them myself. I decided for a variety of reasons to go a separate career and go start working in higher ed. Ended up working at places like Harvard, Howard University, Jackson State University, but I stayed connected to I had a bunch of venture capital stuff going on, and that then led me back to Techco. Techco got me. Actually, my 5-year anniversary is coming up, so I'll be there 5 years. So the last thing up here, or 2 last things. I hail from the state of Texas. I'm a very, very, very proud Texan. Grew up in Houston. And to get finally age myself, the reason the space shuttle is up here, and the reason the Vatican is up there for 2 reasons. So the space, I'll start with the space shuttle. When I was in high school, I got a chance to work at what's called the Johnson Space Center, which is NASA. And I wrote the code for the space shuttle back when they were dropping the space shuttle off the top of 747. So they had never launched it yet. So that's how I'm aging myself. The Vatican is up there. Actually, it's a new part since I did this. So you see, I have a hyphenated name, Lamel. So I grew up Roman Catholic. Went to Catholic high schools from pre-kindergarten to 12th grade. Wanted to be a priest. I actually wanted to be a priest, Roman Catholic priest. I actually went to seminary for a hot second. The whole chastity thing didn't set well with me. So, but the funnier part of the story is my Lamel. The new pope who just became a pope maybe a couple of months ago, I'm related to him. They just did a genealogy of him. They found out that he is from Opelousas, Louisiana. My family is from Opelousas, Louisiana. When they did his genealogy, they named one of his great relatives is also one of mine. So my daughter just was in Rome with my sisters, and I said, y'all should run up on the Vatican and knock on the front door and say, "Cuz, time to come out." So that's me. So you can go to the next slide. That's okay. So I told you I like to have fun, but if you go to the Techco website, we have these professional pictures. and then we have a fun picture. And so my secret identity is I like to act like I'm Black Panther, but I call myself Black Wildcat. It's this secret identity that I have. And so this is who I love being, and I love just I like having fun. You can go to the next one. Whoops. So I told you I'm going to take you to school. So the first lesson, etymology. Etymology is the study of the history of the evolution of a word, right? All words have an evolution to them, how they were used and how they came to be. So that's what we're going to start studying. You can go to the next one. And so we first want to study the etymology of innovation and entrepreneurship, because we sometimes confuse those two words as being the same, and they are not. This is going to lead to agentic AI, I promise. I'm going to get there, I promise. The reason I want to bring, because innovation is about something new. Innovation is the coolness of something. It's making something just kind of cool and making it new.
Excuse me.
Particularly in Maryland, I know here in Virginia as well.
Hey,
A
excuse
lot of
me.
innovation happens in our labs, whether that's a lab at a federal lab
Hello?
or a university
Can
lab.
we pause for a little bit to fix a problem so we don't see anything? We just hear people talking and it's just a waste of time here. We fix the problem first. Can we do that? Thank you.
It may be, but it's about taking a risk. It's about underpinning. And so if you look at the history of these words, entrepreneurship was about underpinning, about taking on that risk. And so this is an entrepreneurship club. And so I'm sure many of you are entrepreneurs. So it's about taking risk. And it may not be about innovation. That's the funny thing. People think innovation is entrepreneurship. It is not. It is not. Because most entrepreneurs start something because of two reasons. And I bet you if I raise your hand, you two reasons. Two reasons. Reason one, something happened to you personally. Something happened to you in your life, and you decided, I want to see that done differently. Second, two, something happened on the job, and you saw it could be done better, more efficiently, and you decided to go do something differently. That's how most entrepreneurs start, with one of those two reasons.
But I like to add a third.
Okay.
Actually, very important.
Okay.
Is that often there is something happening in your life that you got fired or something. I know a lot of successful people because they got fired, laid off.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
the intersection of 1 and 2.
Okay.
Something's happened to you. So I'm saying one was something happened to you. Whether that person, something happened to you and you want to do something about that because that something happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second is something on the job. You saw something about the job that you could have done differently. But I want to make sure you understand the difference here, because too many times we make the presumption that being an entrepreneur is being innovative. No, entrepreneur can be just by doing it better, different. It doesn't have to be innovatively new, right? And just because you're innovative, a lot of innovators, by the way, aren't entrepreneurs. Most innovators just want to do the cool thing of just coolness of it, but they don't want to bring it to market. They don't want to take a risk of bringing it to market. So that's the difference. Go to the next slide. So again, I like to have fun. So you're going to see these things thrown in here. And so this first one is, sometimes we can get so caught up, and this is going to get back to agentic AI. We get so caught up in what we're doing, we can't see the innovation. Right? The caveman couldn't see that they already had something that they thought was kind of working. They thought the square wheel was kind of working. They didn't realize that the circle wheel was a better way to go. And so they were so stuck in their mindset. And that's what's happening a lot with AI. We get so stuck in how we do, we can't see that the circle is better than the square. And the other thing is about perception. So the second one is about, look, there's always the joke, particularly of, the younger generation, when they look like an entrepreneur, they look like they're homeless. Sometimes you can look at somebody and make a misconception of what they are. And so the point of this, and particularly with AI, is we cannot allow what we see. The way I say it differently, so the second one, don't let the view that you have of something block the vision of what it could be. In other words, don't let that what's right in front of you. Sometimes we let what's right in front of us block us from seeing what actually is there to be seen. And so that again is what technology sometimes can do. Sometimes we get so caught up, but the reverse is true too. Sometimes the technology, we sometimes look too far in the future and don't see what can be done right now. I think that's what the other previous speaker was talking about. Sometimes we think that AI is about to become, you know, something that's gonna take over the world. We ain't quite there yet. We ain't there yet. But there are stuff that we can, and I do believe that. There's stuff right now that we can do. So let's not get scared. So it's both ways a problem. Don't get scared by the vision that we don't see what we can do. But also don't misinterpret what's right in front of you to not see what could be. How do you balance those two things? You can go to the next one. You can go to the next one. So again, staying in school. All right, then. That's technology. Technology.
Oh, by the way, I already knew where it is still.
Yeah, you know, sometimes technology don't work the way you want it to work. That's the other thing. So again, I told you I'm an engineer, computer scientist by training, who's worked in these areas. And I want to bring this up because technology is a lot of things, right? If back to the caveman, when the caveman was writing on papyrus, but pen and paper is technology, right? When it was horse and buggy, the train was amazing technology. And sometimes we don't understand the advent of now what is happening. What is happening is that advent is happening faster. There's no question. And part of our human adoption ability to take on those advances, you know, it was literally thousands of millennium when they were still writing on tablets and stones before they got to pen and paper. And then pen and paper, it was another several hundred years before we used computing, right? But now all of a sudden, you know, look, you got these phones, we got to upgrade them every freaking year, right? And so the pace of this is picking up. There's no question about that. And this thing, and I'm going to talk about this thing called AI. I'm going to keep saying this thing called AI because I actually don't like the term AI. And I'll talk about that here in a second. I think it's a horrible term. It's a horrible term. You can go to the next slide. So I love music. I don't know, Tina Turner, deceased, wonderful musician. And so the real point of all that is, it's not what's love got to do with it. What's technology got to do with it? How do we think about what technology and how do we bring that innovation and entrepreneurship? Go to the next slide. How do we go to the next slide? How do we make sure it's so the drum roll is how do we combine innovation and technology and entrepreneurship? Because here's what I believe. I believe, and I don't know what different businesses you're in, I believe that any business can be a tech-enabled business. I don't care if you're a retail shop selling donuts. That donut shop can be a tech-enabled business. A country, I'll give you a specific example. There's a wine in the country. Some of you may have drank it from the entertainer called Snoop Dogg. Oh, Snoop Dogg, the rapper. He's got a wine out there called 19 Crimes. That's the name of it. Not bad. It's, you know, not the greatest one, not the worst one. It's a nice $20 bottle of wine. But check it out. Here's the technology part to it. Here's the innovation, tech, entrepreneurship. There's a little QR code on it. Next time you get it, you'll do it. Put your phone up on a QR code. Snoop Dogg will start talking to you. Start talking to you. But that's not the cool part. The cool part is what Snoop is doing, he's drawing data. Snoop is disguised a consumer data company as a wine company. That's innovation, tech, and entrepreneurship. Thought into a consumer company. So we believe this slide is about how do you combine those things. I don't care what business you're in, you can make innovation and tech and entrepreneurship be in that company. So now, you can go to the next slide. Now, let's get to this thing called AI. Just again. So here's why I don't like the term AI. You just keep going to the next slide. Here's why I don't like the term AI. First of all, why do we want anything that's artificial? Why would you want to start with something? Why would you want something that's artificial? And two, why would you want something that's artificially intelligent? And so this term I have some significant challenges with this term, artificial. And by the way, intelligence, a computer isn't intelligent. This is the point you were talking about, you know, asking about your life. what we get,
Or your boss.
oh, your boss.
Interesting.
Because we spend a lot of time talking about what the algorithm is doing. And what has made AI so great isn't the algorithm. It's the fact that at this point in our life as human beings, do y'all know just today, there would be 3 trillion megabytes of data created just today. Just today. Just today.
Still need more data. That's what AI has trouble because they cannot collect enough data.
I'm going to get to that. Completely agree with you. But what's happened, and the reason it's gotten, first of all, what this slide is about, for those of you that, again, I'm aging myself, this term that I don't like has been around since the 1950s. This is not a new term. It's just not. It's not a new term. It's been around since the 1950s. What is different, I'll give ChatGPT credit. Those of us that are old enough to remember, when that first personal computer showed up on our desk, and it was clunky, it was big, and we thought, oh my God, we said the world's about to end. This computer is on my desk. It's going to do all these wonderful things. If you go back and I went back and looked at all the articles that came out in the late 70s and early 80s, when the first computer showed up, it was Armageddon was about to approach. It was a bunch of, oh my God, what is this thing? But what it did, again, I'm old enough to remember, it brought that computing power that had been in those big mainframe rooms. What did it do? It brought it to the desktop. It brought it to you and me. ChatGPT did the same thing. The power that we've always had sitting in big closets and other places, it brought it to you. It brought the power of this thing called AI. The other thing that's happened, though, to the point you're making, remember what's this convolution of things. Because think what's happened. One, computing power has gotten so much that this thing on my wrist and that thing, you guys, this is the same computing power that put a man on the moon. And now I'm walking around it, right? So we got computing power that's been miniaturized. Number 2 is the internet. And it's not just the connective tissue of the internet, which is important, but it's the speed of the internet. Again, I'm old enough to remember when I had to walk around with not just this wonderful thing, but the big loadable thing that was like a suitcase that weighed about 15 pounds. And you had to go into the hotel room and plug in and dial out the numbers and try to get a dial in and get the modem. And when you thought 2400 baud, some of you had no clue what I'm talking about. When 2400 baud modems was fast, now you log in and you're talking about, getting megabit type speeds at your homes, right? So computing power, the speed of the internet, and to the point, data. The cost of storing data has plummeted. It has plummeted. You and I can, at your home right now, you probably got a terabyte sitting on your desktop, and you can go get Google Cloud for another couple of terabytes for $2 a month, right? And so when you combine all those things, that's allowed these algorithms to have access to data. Now the point, then you go to the next slide. The real point is that it has gone, this thing called artificial intelligence, we talked about it for a long time. We just didn't call it AI. We call it a bunch of other things. The other audience talked, machine learning and large language. There's been a bunch of things. But because of ChatGPT, it's now brought it to a retail. It's gotten to be retail. Before it was this commercial thing. ChatGPT has brought it to me and you. Well, yes, I can help it do my email and do my calendar and kind of be a personal concierge for me, right? Because before it was a corporate thing. It was a very corporate level thing. By the way, Siri, which has been on our phones forever, Siri is a form of AI. Siri is a form of AI. We've been walking around with Siri for a couple of decades. That is a form of AI. The old when you call the voice response systems and you had to push 3 for this and 2 for this, that was a form of AI. We didn't call it that, but that's what it was. That's why I hate this term, artificial intelligence. So it's gone under a bunch of different aliases. So you take the aliases and all that's happened and this retailing of it. That's what's really happened. It's gotten to you, gotten to your kids. You go to the next slide. And I'm almost done. Man, you just working. It's working. You go ahead.
That's wait. That's all that kid said. And go mute. Because it's always time.
Somebody trying to get in touch with you. But look, and and I'm not talking to an international audience here in the U.S. and international audience. There are some real challenges as we go down this path. Real challenge, political challenge. And look, I am in there as a both an investor, as a technician. I'm in the camp of we need to have certain types of guardrails, but you can't over guardrail this thing because there are going to be other countries, other areas that aren't going to put those guardrails on, and they're going to. This is an arms race that's happening right now across countries, across regions. There's no question about that. And so we in the United States, in the Western world, we've got to be real careful because sometimes and the problem with laws is they're always late. Think about this. Think about this for a second. The United States government is just now figuring out that it needs to maybe think differently and maybe break up Google and Facebook. Are you kidding me? Google and Facebook been around for how many decades? And they just now figuring out they got to break them up. And by the way, the next cool version of Google and Facebook is sitting in somebody's garage right now. It just is, right? And so the laws are always behind the technological innovation and way behind the societal adoption of those things. So I think my hope is that we don't overregulate this thing. We put enough conditions to protect people, but we don't overregulate. So back to my earlier point, we don't stifle the innovation and we don't prohibit the entrepreneurship. That's what I might hope. But there are other things here. Back to your question about the wife or the boss. The question, one of the fundamental questions I ask is who's feeding the algorithm? Who gets to decide which data goes into the algorithm? Who gets to make that decision? Who does? And you talked about cultural norms. How do you differentiate how things are here versus China, versus Africa, versus South America? Who defines those data sets and how does that get fed? And how does it know that it's talking to a Black man? Right? And that I want a different type of response because of my experiences. And how are my experiences into those data sets? And how are your experiences? Who's deciding that? Here's the example that I use to take. Look, if my friend Harry here, Harry, if you eat nothing but dessert, nothing but sweets, your doctor gonna give you a certain diagnosis, right? Mm-hmm. He's gonna tell you got a problem. Right? If you eat nothing but red meat, doctor gonna tell you got a problem, right? Mm-hmm. Question: who is feeding the algorithms? And what's the doctor saying about the feeding of those algorithms today? So it's not about the algorithms. It's about the food, the data that's being fed to the algorithms. All due respect to all the other challenges that we have with AI, and I know there are many, that to me is the number one. Because there is a lack of cultural sensitivity in many of these data sets, which is your point. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't care if it's Chinese or African or Black American. I don't care. The lack of cultural sensitivity. And this is also why I believe it is overblown that everyone's talking about all these people are not going to have jobs. No. Here's what I do believe is going to happen. And it's happening. It's happening. Hair is going to make you more efficient. And the previous talk about as opposed to you having to sift through a bunch of data, you will have a tool that'll sift through that data for you. And what's going to really happen, I think, is our friends and our human resources, our talent management, we're going to have to start to rewrite job descriptions because the jobs that we did yesterday and that list of things are going to be different. So it's not that we need necessarily less people. We need a different skill set for those people. Now, those who choose not to adapt, yeah, they're going to lose their job. God bless you. But those who understand that this tool, and by the way, I prefer to call them tools. We call them tools. This tool, because what it's going to give you are some options to consider, some probabilities to think through, and how to then for those decisions. Now, are we at a point where we're going to let these computers start making decisions for us? And I know some of this is agentic AI, and so there's some early stages with agentic AI where they are, quote, answering questions, right, and making certain decisions. But again, to the point, it's based off of some experiences that people have. I was just at a board meeting with college up in New York, and they've got a tool that they're using, and they played around with this with us yesterday with it. And the tool helped the student decide if they should come to, and so one of our board members played with it, and they asked a bunch of questions. They even asked the question of, hey, I want to come to school and find some boys. Hey, I want to come and hang out and go to parties. And so it tried to trip it up, and the tool was good enough. Because why? Because what the university has done, they've had people experienced talking to and helping it to learn, but it is a learning model. And that's the point. It's got to keep learning. And that's why I'm having a hard time with this artificial intelligence, because it still has to keep learning. It has to learn from your experience and your experience and your experience, and differentiate cultural norms. Because the other thing that it tripped up in this particular algorithm, you can go ahead and go to the next slide, is that, because I'm going to that point, I see some questions, so I'll get to them, but the possibilities of this thing, the ability to give us a minute back, I think is amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. The ability to help us think more broadly and differently, to see the considerations of probabilities, to find new ways to think through the problem and to do it in a more efficient way. I think that is absolutely what the tools should be able to do. But the tools should not replace your point. I love digital twins. Look, I got a couple of digital twins. And even with digital twins aren't about replacing them. It's about enhancing them. And I think too many times we want to talk about replacing. Don't know, maybe. It's probably true. But today in 2025, and I can promise you in 2026, that ain't what it's going to be. I can promise you that in 2026 and 2027, I can promise you that too, right? And so we got to think differently about what this tool can and should be doing for us. Back to view and vision, right? What it should be doing is giving us time. That's what it should be doing. Let's not get scared about that when we talk about Armageddon. But let's think about how we can make sure we're managing so that we can avoid Armageddon while we bring it together. So I think, yeah, one more slide. So I really do like this. It's from the college that I'm on board of. I really do like this slide a lot, because I think it's different people have different stages of this. So I don't pretend that this is because it walks through the types of AI. And I think we had this reactive AI is what we all had. It was Siri. It was what Siri was initially, and all different types of voice response systems that they have. I think where we are right now, honestly, is between. I think agentic AI is tier of the mind, and you talked a little bit about that in your stuff. Is how do I begin to map how I think and how I process and how I do that? Right, we're not there yet. It's still. Not even version 1. I think it's version 0.5 of it right now. But it's some pretty interesting stuff happening. But agentic AI is definitely but it's the point, right? It's still got limited memory. There's still only so much it can know. It's only so much, because again, it's back to the doctor. What are you feeding it? Who decides what it gets fed? That's the foundational question. How do you differentiate cultural norms? How do you differentiate men versus women? How do you begin to differentiate these things? That is one of the foundational questions. So I think that's why we're going to be stuck, stuck here for a while. Now, are we going to get out here where we become self-aware and get to, it's running us, and, we're a bunch of robots, and robots are trying to kill us and all that? God bless that. I'm not worried about that, because I think this is going to be so hard. This is going to be so hard. We don't understand how our mind works. Think about it. We've only mapped 25-30% of the mind. If you talk to most, we've only mapped 25% of the mind. 25-30% of our mind has only been mapped. So how do we expect to imprint that limited knowledge that we know of our own minds into a computer? How do we expect to do that? And so I think this is going to take a minute to get to this. And that's, God bless it. So I think that's it. You go to the next. I think that's it. Well, yeah. Well, this is a good way to close. Yeah, that's a good way to close. Look, as I said a few minutes ago, if you want to keep your job, this is not about, becoming an AI expert. It's about being willing to evolve. It's and back to my earlier picture. You know, think about it. When it was a horses and form of transportation, who was the key? One of the key jobs back then was blacksmith. When the horses started being less, less, and we went to more forms of transportation, the blacksmiths had to find something else to do, right? Our friends next door in West Virginia, even in Western Maryland, now that we don't do coal mining anymore, those coal miners got to find something else to do. That's just the evolution of things. And so we've got to be willing as humans. This is on us. We have the capacity to do this. It's a question of skill versus will. We have the capacity to learn more and do more with or without technology. The question is, will we and do we want to? If you choose not to, then yeah, you will be part of something that will not have a job. No question of mind about that. But if you're willing to be constantly innovative and willing to take some risk, you will always have a job. That I'm convinced of. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is such a energetic and enlightening speech. Thank you. And I personally feel very interesting that as we just touch on how an agentic AI as a very like the frontier of AI development that is going to disrupt our lives. Your talk basically saying, hey, it's not that disruptive. It's actually a continuous evolution of AI technology.
Correct.
And fundamentally, it's still about innovation and entrepreneurship.
That's correct.
And so, I think, thank you very much.
And we've allowed the media, one last point on that point, we've allowed the media to frame this conversation. And it's a bunch of media who don't understand technology. And we as technologists, we need to be the ones framing this conversation and not letting the media frame it. That's one of my, that's why I do this. That's why I do what I do.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know we are late on time, but apparently there is a strong will to continue this conversation. So let's spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm at your disposal.
Okay, great. Sorry, I'm going to use my host privilege. To just ask two quick questions, and knowing that you are from Maryland, one of the most prestigious venture capital firm that invest in startup companies, and we have a group of entrepreneurs here and we're also entrepreneur club. So I wanted to ask 2 questions related to startup companies. Number 1, when you look at AI teachers from entrepreneurs, how do you evaluate hypes versus substance? Number 2, when you look at the companies, like what are the most important things that you look from a company when you decide whether to invest?
No, I appreciate both of that questions. So I can answer them very quickly for the sake of time. One, on AI, if a company, because I don't like that term, but if a company shows up and they say they're an AI company, I tell them go have a good life. If they told me that they got some tools that help with drug discovery or fintech or driving some solutions, I say let's have a chat. In other words, AI is not a sector. It is a tool that helps enable sectors to be built. And as an investor, if any of your investors, if you're investing in AI, I tell you to stop. If you're investing in a company that's leveraging a tool to be more efficient in whatever they're doing, including making wine, I'd say keep that investment. On the second point, we invest at such an early stage. I learned 2 things. I spent a lot of time in Silicon Valley and with a number of the very big venture capital funds, and we were limited partners. And they told me 2 things. One, they said, Troy, you're going to lose more than you win. But your wins have got to be home runs and grand slams to make up for the singles, doubles, and triples and walks you're going to have. In other words, only 10% of your portfolio is actually going to make money. And that's the math for venture capital. About 10% actually makes money. The second thing they told me, which answers your question, which is a point, they said, Troy, you only invest in A quality people that have a B quality plan and never the reverse. Because at this stage that we invest in, most of the ideas we get, they're okay. They're not great. They're just okay. But what I am investing in is you. Is your ability. Do I believe in you? Do I believe that you're going to listen? And an A-quality person, very simply, is somebody that's willing to be coached. Because if you're not willing to be coached, if you think you already got the right idea, I'm gonna say, go have a good life. But if you think you just got the kernel of a good idea and you're willing to listen and be coached, I want to invest in you. That's
Thank you. Totally agree. Okay, so now opening it.
yeah, it's a bunch of hands out there. I'm
Yes,
gonna let you get
so
people mad at you.
I know Dr. Ucha has raised a hand before. I'll let you ask your question, but I also wanted to introduce Dr. Ucha to the audience here in person and online. Dr. Ucha actually is our Maryland House of Delegates.
Yep.
So and he also like is very supportive of our club and our events, and regularly join our events and also give speech about how important technology is to people's life and also to regulation. So here you go, Dr. Ucha.
Thank you, Nita. And Ms. Rollo, really appreciate your work coming here in person. I was thinking about it a lot for a long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I think I want to appreciate your work leading telco, investing in a lot of firms, and really try to drive the innovation and entrepreneurship in Maryland.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for your leadership. And I think the difference when you sit in front of Ways and Means Committee and you're presenting here, totally different.
Well, I'm asking for money.
So one question is like, there are a lot of entrepreneurs here, right? Or potential entrepreneurs here. And I think the Yinxiao mentioned a little bit, like in terms of your investment strategy. I think what's your advice for people who have some idea, but not to the stage they're actually starting something alone, right? They have a job, side job, and
Yes.
startup is kind of side job, maybe have some idea.
Yep.
Where do you think they can start and
Yep.
make
No.
it bigger?
Thank you for that. Again, thank you for your leadership, for your questions and Ways and Means is a big committee. And I just spoke to Delegate Atterbury, Chairman Atterbury just last night, no, 2 nights ago. So to answer your question, it's actually pretty simple. Look, particularly in Maryland, and actually we have a sister organization here in Virginia called the VIPC. I know those folks very well. We do some stuff together where we can. Too many times entrepreneurs don't start because they think their idea isn't an idea that the market wants. And I disagree with that. Many times it just needs help. And so one of the cool things we do with TechCo is that we take those ideas that ain't that great. I mean, literally back of the napkin, scribbled on the back of a piece of paper in somebody's garage. We help bring that to what's called, and I'm being technical here, a minimum viable product or proof of concept. We bring them to that stage so they're ready. And we're very good at getting that work done. And we're good at doing that, whether that person is in our rural areas or urban areas, Black, white, it doesn't matter. We're really good at that. And we're also really good at putting money, because there's in the funding continuum, there's there's the round of capital that a lot of people use called friends and family. And as like the governor likes to say, not everybody friends and family are the same. And so not everybody can have $10,000, $15,000 to take that scribbled piece of paper or scribbled idea and bring it to a proof of concept. So we provide some of that capital. And so in Maryland, we understand that there's a need to put that real early $10,000, and it's non-dilutive. We do dilutive, because we got God bless the money you give us, but we still got to make money. We do. And so we do that. And so my point is, don't let, what I'll close on your question is, don't let the fear of what you think might not be stop you from being what it could be. Right? Sometimes here's what I will close on this, on the question so you can get to the next question. The challenge we have in Maryland, and it's not as much as in Virginia because they got a more robust challenge we have, is that people are afraid to fail. So they won't start because they're afraid to fail. In California, I know tons of entrepreneurs who failed 5 times, went bankrupt 3 times, and still raised $100 million. We got to have that culture here in Maryland and a little bit here in Virginia of that failure is okay. And failure is actually part of the process. So you can't, to answer your question, you really answer your question, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. That's the answer to your question.
Okay, great. Thank you. I know, Kevin, you also raised up. So I saw your hand. Well, just like two more. And sorry, we just
You'll be in trouble.
Kevin first and that lady.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's Roy, you mentioned about the regulation, not over-regulate. I should have one kind of maybe comments related to what I've heard recently, and also more question for you and the dedicated group, right? So, I mean, yeah, I mean, recently there's a Senate hearing about AI race, and at the very beginning, the chairperson mentioned that a negative example, which is Europe, over-regulated, the internet, all the technologies. As a fact check, actually a check, in 1993, the European GDP was almost $10 trillion, US was 6.5. Now it just flipped. Like we have like $30 trillion by end of the year, and European Union will be probably like $20 trillion. Yeah, I mean, the question, like, even though people ask about US, right? The concern, a lot of people are hearing about US regulation is, for a lot of things, you have to do that state by state. And then permitting is super difficult, right? And this has become a challenge, become a lot of concerns to the people who want to innovate, right? I want to know what's your view, and Daddy, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm glad he walked out so I can answer his question. It starts, well, for me, because I'm regulated by him. I agree with you. I think this is where, and again, this is not to make a comment about the current federal government, but the federal government in general needs to set the boundary conditions here. Because if this is done in 50 plus the District of Columbia state, you're just going to have wildly different type of stuff. Kind of like what's happening with car regulations, right? Emissions regulations. Each state has its own emission. California has a more tighter emissions regulation. So companies have to make a different car just for California, right? They do. That's what happens right now. That cannot happen with AI. That cannot happen. I pray it does not happen. It just can't. I'll just be blunt. It cannot happen. It will stifle, and it will definitely create AI haves and have-nots across the country. And I think that would be bad for the country. I think that'd be bad for the world. And I also think this is where I'm going to take to a different level that you just did, but I appreciate it. I think this is where the UN, and I get the UN doesn't have governance, but I think the UN can set some boundary, particularly for what are considered third world countries, right? I think the ability to set some norms, particularly around these data sets, I think the UN should set out, they got the 17 principles of economic development. I think they need to ask stuff around the same thing around AI. I think there needs to be a global kind of broader set of things. The other thing that's going to also, it's not here in this conversation, but the other one that's going to need some real conversations is, I call it, I don't put crypto, digital currency. I think digital currency is one that we're going to have to start to understand. And I consider crypto a part of digital currency, so that's just me. But I think this notion of how we regulate digital currencies has got to be something done at a global level. Otherwise, you're going to have South American countries that's taking crypto and everybody else. I mean, how do you figure this crap out? So you're right. Your premise is exactly right. We've got to find a way to standardize at a much higher level than at a local level. You're right.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
hello, Mr. Doval. My name is KL, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Animal. And we're building an AI-empowered platform to help client-based professionals to help client engagement and help to make the financial advisor more accessible for families, or especially underserved families, because that service is for many. And my background is I currently still work in Fannie Mae as a principal of model risk, and in my daily work I help to even without resource and budget, I help the process that improve 90% efficiency. So my question to you is, as you're a VC and we're at the stage of where we're trying to run for pre-seed, so as a founder, what you mentioned that you invest in people, but precisely what will you see the winning factor of VC? And my second is, as a VC, what support you can give to your company, your portfolio, other than funding?
Right. I'll start with the second question first. At TechCo, we understand that it's not just about the dollars. It's about surrounding you with so whether you need a lawyer, whether you need wet space, whether you need a lab, whether you need computing power, whatever you need, for your success, we're going to surround that for you in Maryland. We're going to surround you with that. And we've made investments, not just directly in companies, which we do. We've also made investments, again, through the support of the legislature and the governor in the ecosystem. So we support makerspaces and incubators and legal clinics. So we make sure that whatever you need, you're going to have access to. On your first part of your question, again, one of the things I do because of just the way I grew up, I talk in alliterations, so it makes you remember. So I talk about the 4 Ps. I'm going to quickly go over the 4 Ps. There are 4 Ps that I look forward to invest. First one is the person, the people. It's not just you, it's your team. Who have you put around you? It's not just you, are you an A person who's want to be coached, but have you put other people around you? So that's one. That's the first P. Second P is product. Has the market really asked for that? Does the market really want what you are producing? You'd be surprised how many people, because here's the problem with that. That's funny, but here's the thing. So Harry has a great, I keep picking on you, Harry. Harry has a great idea. And it's a great idea. And Harry talks to 10 of y'all here in this room. And 10 of y'all say, boy, Harry, that is some great stuff. You come and talk to me, and I tell you, Harry, them the only 10 people that's going to buy that stuff. Now, if you want 10 million people to buy that stuff, listen to me. Harry has a decision to make. He can listen to his 10 friends, or he can listen to me. He can go for that market of 10, or he can go to a market of 10 million. Harris, but you'd be surprised how many people focus on their 10 friends. So that's the second P. The third P, and this is the hardest one. It's the price. It's the price. We tend to, because we come from a lot of them from a government mindset, we end up charging cost plus. Wrong. It's value creation. If you know that what you do creates $100 of value for somebody, you should understand it and price accordingly. Here's the example that I give you, young lady. Harry's got a fork that's off the freaking chain. It can do some amazing stuff. And he sells it for $100 and he owns the market. You come along, you got a fork, same stuff, and you do some cool, better stuff. You can produce it for $5. Here's the question. What do you sell your fork for? What's the answer? There's only one answer. You should close it to his price. You should sell it for $100. Why? Because most people say $20. Heck no. If he's selling for $100 and you can do the same thing, what do you think Harry gonna start doing if you start invading his market? He's gonna drop prices. You ain't got much of a margin. Harry got some margin. He got cash. You're gonna get wiped out. The problem that most entrepreneurs have is they chase a dollar, and most investors are investing based off of revenue. I want to invest off of profit. I'd much rather you have slower revenue growth and higher profitability growth. Too many entrepreneurs and too many investors have it backwards. Not every dollar is a good dollar for you to go after as an entrepreneur. It's not a good dollar long term, and it's not profitable. I'd much rather you get a dollar that you're making 90 cents off of than $10 that you're only making a dime. So that's the third P. The final P is a plan. That ties it all together. Can you articulate to me, back to my view and vision, can you articulate to me a vision of what you're trying to do, but with a view of what you're going to do tomorrow? That's what we're looking for.
Thank you very much.
TechcoMD.com. And I'll leave some of my cards here too.
Thank you. Sorry. We have to move on. Yeah, apparently this is a reason to invite you back next time. But anyway, we would like to really express our appreciation to you. And so we prepared a certificate of appreciation for you. President of the club should
really appreciate
still help.
Thanks, very helpful.
Yeah, and the club leadership. So
Okay, everyone get together.
Yeah. Yeah, where is it?
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you.
push back，这样保证啊。好了啊，close 了啊，no more 啊。
Exactly. All right.
Alright, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to.
Yeah, I left my cards here. if anyone- Yes, yes, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So the first two talk are wonderful, and I think, but they are all high level, bigger picture talks, right? But we know for anything to happen, it has to be implemented. And so the next part of our discussion today presents a real case with startup companies that apply agentic AI to the pharmaceutical industry. So this is Kevin Ho's company called Medicine.ai. So let me just introduce Kevin Ho to all of you. So Kevin Ho is the founder and CEO of Medicine.ai. He's the architect of the Agentic AI platform, which empowers researchers and biopharma companies to accelerate therapeutic development by seamlessly combining cutting-edge AIs with proprietary data. He is also the founder of Human and AI Harmony, creator of enterprise-grade generative AI and analytical solutions, serving finance, retail, and other fields, combining human creativity with automated intelligence. He himself is a senior technology and finance executive with more than 2 decades of leadership experience in financial services and technology, with deep expertise in strategic vision, platform architecture, and cross-disciplinary innovation. And lastly, his academic background includes advanced training in computer science, business strategy, and chemistry. He's passionate about using AI and data to turn bold ideas into real impact. So with that, let's welcome Kevin Ho. So this part is a little different from the previous talk. In this, Kevin, this essentially will do a pitch simulation. And as you may know, startup companies often do pitch talk to potential investors at a very high level, describe what their business is about, and hopefully to attract potential investment. So that's what Kevin will do around 20 minutes. And now we have 4 entrepreneur advisors who are also very experienced entrepreneurs and highly privileged leaders in various sectors. They will ask questions or give feedback to Kevin about his business. So let me also introduce the background of our 4 advisors. Who are they, by the way?
Keep it brief.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
keep it brief. Maybe just give them 4 minutes.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we can also take a 2 minutes break here in that sense. So we'll restart at 11:45.
媒体拍到了4个人是吧？
对，4个人。杨红军，然后 Victor， 你也可以。 到展，到展，come to the front。Yeah， 我们 2 minutes， 你现在就叫他们吧。
对呀，对呀。Dr. Young, have you met? Came here, you. Just a learner and see, and then, yeah. Yeah. We 可以想吧，这样，当然
我不知道这个看他这个说当时没有进来之后要把所有人
都让他们可以自己按 mute 吧。对对对，现在
下回设置的时候可以那个。
对他对对，我知道
这个鼠标怎么操控啊？下面你下面会。
这挺好的，这些东西都不需要的。他这个会议室还不错。
好，是这样。他现在我刚才到这儿，然后呢，其实它这个就是 extend 的那个 desktop， 所以你要看这个地方才知道是不是上来了。然后你要 switch 的话，就先 stop sharing， 先 stop sharing， 然后再找到你的那个挂。
We don't need to share it online. 我觉得 offline 就可以。We don't need to share it. Make things simple.
Yeah. Let me see how many people are online now. 现在有网上多少人？那还有30个呢。那都在这儿。
It's okay. It's on. 对，你可以帮我，你帮我那个。
好，我帮你来。
帮我可以也可以。
好。
他讲了一个政策的就是我们的这个新团队跟联盟的都是这个情况，他们那边也是他们选择这是看这个套就给你，这无线麦还有这个接收器直接可以用，
我也可以
都可以，这个。
怎么亮呢？
你得按一下，这个亮了之后，这个后面有个亮。怎么接上去？就直接按上去就可以。喂喂，关键这个声音太小了，这个声音能大一点吗？
你看一下吧，他说已经到了最大了。
不能调吗？是这个吗？
就是有一段时间那个应该是stop sharing 在 sharing 是吧？否则你屏幕上显示的跟那个对吧？它这个主要是share the screen 我们不要 share screen， 他们看到正要双 share 还是一 share， 它这个它这两个这个呀，它就不行，它变成了，它的信息在哪里？不在这儿。对，我今天I work from work。还要总结一下，现在手上的这企业还是做事儿。我上次后悔，上半段就可以，这是很快的，当时就是。都是弄的，现在这叫味道，三级可能三号那个，look at me，这个，它每一个电脑不一样。
OK，稍等，让一下，我要前面转绕。最好的这种还是好了。这要说以后啊。对，老板。
All right, so let's get restarted. Please be seated. Thank you. Please all take your seats and we'll get restarted. Okay, so excuse me.
对，这个你看啊，要跟他们均衡。刚才我录了那个一直做着的，现在嘛有没有谁把这个 offset 我们这个换，这你还 share 两个？
对，还是
这里 OK，他说还在两个是吧？这个不是闭门了吗？这开始闭门了。
对，原来计划是那样，但是现在我看 online 还有30多个人，大家也比较感兴趣，那我们就 going. All right, so I have before the break I have just introduced Kevin, and now let me introduce 4 of our entrepreneur advisors. The first one is Mr. Zhi Quanbo. He is a global innovation and strategy leader. He's founder and CEO of the International Applied Science Research Institute and president of Huashen Group USA. He's recognized with many awards, including the UN IDO Innovation Award, which I believe is a United Nations Industrial Development Organization. Is that the UNIDO? And he is an influential ecosystem builder. He organized major entrepreneur competitions and actively supports startups in AI, data tech, healthcare, and education through mentoring and investment. He's a thought leader and academic contributor. He serves as the Chinese Association of Science and Technology expert and board member and adjunct professor at multiple universities. He's deeply engaged in innovation and scientific education. He's also a prolific author and editor, co-chairs Tsinghua University Press Innovation Series, authored multiple well-regarded books on AI, digital transformation, etc. And he serves on the expert committee of UNIDO Shanghai Center for Intelligence Manufacturing, bridging global perspectives on smart tech, sustainability, and innovation policy. Our second entrepreneur advisor is Dr. Dao Zhanyu. He's the CEO and co-founder of AA Venergy. He co-founded the company and leads the company that focuses on advancing AAV gene therapy by developing next generation capsids and processes to improve delivery efficiency, specificity, and reduce cost. AA Venergy's technology targets both rare and common diseases, including diabetes, obesity, aging, cardiovascular disease, and cancer by enhancing gene therapy precision and safety. He himself is an expert in molecular medicine and disease modeling and specialist in AAV technology. He's an industrial leader in translational gene therapy as well. Our third entrepreneur advisor is Victor Wang. He's a serial entrepreneur, corporate executive, and a frequent speaker on the future of work and the societal impact of emerging technologies. He co-founded Intengel, thank you, LLC, and worked at Fannie Mae for 15 years, leading the development of core financial model systems and providing guidance to industry and financial professionals. He's a member of the advisory board of the Department of Applied Mathematics and Statistics at Johns Hopkins. He holds PhD in system reliability engineering from Johns Hopkins and is a leader in AI in the DC area. And last but not least, we have Dr. Hongjun Yang. He's a veteran biotech executive and innovator with over 30 years in the biomedical and pharmaceutical industries. Dr. Yang has held senior roles in multiple startups and global companies, shaping both the US and Chinese biotech landscapes. He's a founder of Tacerna. And he's leading the development of anti-cancer therapies. He previously initiated Metrigenics and Sonomics and contributed to key innovations like DNA microarrays, siRNA therapies, and NGS technologies. He's an innovator of key diagnostic technology, original developer of ECL, a groundbreaking technology now commercialized globally. And he's a strategic leader at AstraZeneca as the executive director of global personalized healthcare strategy. He played a key role in the launch of the several blockbuster cancer therapies. And he's very influential scientific leader in China. He's the founder of the National Center for Biochip Technology and a key figure in China's 863 high-tech program. I think for those of us who are Chinese, we understand how important is 863计划 is for China. He chairs the Precision Medicine Committee under the China Society of Biotechnology and helped establish Zhangjiang High Tech Park. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, we have a very influential, important experience, the leaders in various industries who are here today to and they are advisors to our club and to really help the startup, the entrepreneurs in our club to grow. So with that, I'll turn this to Kevin, present your companies. Thank you.
Can you help me play
Take it over.
Slides, right?
Sure, I will do.
That should be set up such that the people online can see Kevin speaking.
Yes, we'll do it that way. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so now, Kevin, do you mind going over it a little bit? Okay, all right, so I think you. I think you can start.
Okay, can we do the slide video?
Yeah.
Use the mouse, it's easier. Yeah. Is that what we see on the screen right now? Okay, cool. Okay, thank you so much, Incha, for the introduction. Yeah, this is really a great opportunity. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity present my business case to the wonderful club members and especially to our outstanding advisor group. So my business case centered around utilizing agentic AI for drug discovery, which includes both a platform driven by agentic AI and also the pipeline of drug discovery using the platform. Next page, please. Next page. Before diving into the specifics of the business case, I will share some core principles of my company because that defines who we are, why the company should even exist, and what do we stand for. Actually, I spent a year to build the Agentic AI platform, and then spent 6 months to validate it with a lot of leading researchers and companies. After that, I got really convinced that the platform is powerful. It can transform drug discovery. So with that, the first thing is we can use that system to serve research institutes and some companies to help them to expedite their drug discovery and cut costs. As mentioned, our company also have our own pipeline. So ourselves as well is a drug discovery company. That kind of benefit is obvious. The other benefit over time, I gradually realized that is, we also have the AI scoring capability, which can benefit pharmaceutical investors and even the FDA regulators greatly. Let me give you an example. Now everybody knows ADC is very hot. There are about 750 ADC candidates in different stages of clinical trials. When I utilize my AI scoring system to look at those ADCs with public information, with enough information for my AI to determine, is this good ADC or not, based on the safety profile and based on the efficacy profile. Surprisingly, my AI concludes most of these ADCs should never go to clinical trials because they fail. And also very important, the AI scoring, I did the best testing. The AI scoring results, 70% lined up with FDA's past decisions, fail or not fail, right? So what's the implication of that? If we use AI insight to evaluate those candidates, if we know from the beginning they are not going to be successful or they need to redesign the drug, and we can save actually literally, probably tens of millions of dollars, and we can reduce the sacrificing of animal lives. And this also open up FDA's bandwidth. Look at other problems. Don't waste on those ultimately going to fail candidates anyway, right? So if we do that well, help out the drug companies, help out the investors, help out the regulators, that means is we save a lot of money, we save a lot of time, which eventually will provide more accessible and cheaper, better therapeutics to the everybody, like humans globally, right? So I think that's like really something we can deliver for the society. Next page, please. Another king's principle, I'm kind of asking myself how our company operates. This is kind of our operating principles or maybe philosophy, right? We're embracing something called the minimalist and principled entrepreneurial philosophies. That means is we're not chasing the vanity metrics. We focus our time and energy on real value. And when we do that, we also have a couple of key principles. Number one is we want to be self-sufficient. What that means is I want to make sure that my company have enough cash flow can support, run my business for at least 2 years without any external capital injection. So that's number one metrics I'm managing, which is a self-financial sufficiency. The second one is I want to make sure the team is super efficient by using AI, by using different ways. And one hard metrics I'm kind of telling myself is even at one day, the company got a valuation of, let's say, $100 million. I don't want my team size is more than 10 people because I want the team to be super lean, super efficient. So those kind of guiding principle for my company to operate. Next page, please. Okay, now let's move on to the business case. Next page.
So this kind of high level summary of what I kind of mentioned a little bit early on, and also I'm going to explore more with you all in detail. Well, number one thing is this: how our system, how our platform, how business can bring value is we have unmatched productivities. We can do things way faster than any traditional method and explore at much greater scales and at a fraction of cost of traditional method. And our technology have been proven with validation, with a lot of real case developments are going on right now. And also, we are a platform company, and we're also a drug discovery company. We actually have several drug candidates in the pipeline utilizing our own technology, utilizing our own platform. All right. So everything when we talk about business case, right, we talk about, hey, what's the problem? In this case, it's very clear. The system is broken. Drug discovery is broken. Probably nobody will disagree with that. It was broken 10 years ago, and it's still broken today, right? There's no good solution of it. I think underlying reason of it's broken are several-fold. First of all, for people doing research will know it's very complex. Okay, mechanism of disease is very complex. Nobody really have deep understanding of a lot of things. That's number one. Number two is information is too big. It's kind of exploding. You look at those numbers, look at speed of adding new information, it totally overwhelms humans' capacity, overwhelms any traditional conventional system can deal with. So that's kind of, bottom, like root causes. As a result, what we observed is it's super expensive, very lengthy, and very costly to deliver anything. With that kind of cost, with that kind of extended timeline, even the most financial resourceful big farmers, they cannot keep playing the game. It's just too expensive. And another big thing is, as a side effect, because the way how we play the game, actually it kind of throttles innovation, in my opinion. When you have limited resources, a lot of innovators who really have good ideas, they do not have the technical means or financial resources to bring their ideas into commercial products. So to fix the problem is both on technological front and actually also on the organization front, how we deal with the problem, how we solve it using technology, and how we solve it using the right organization structure. Yeah, I just want to give things a little bit more vivid. This is kind of analogy, searching pharmaceutical, this pharmacy, the good medicine, in a lot of ways, kind of searching something big on the vast ocean, which is borderless. And it's so complicated. And in order to make any voyage, you need to have a very big crew and very big ship. And then even that, right? Again, it's vast. The conditions above on the water are unpredictable. What the people do is they explore more or less largely randomly by using, let's say, some kind of past experiences, some historical nautical records. So that's how kind of business is doing in general. Well, because we know it's very expensive, very lengthy, most likely going to be unsuccessful, right? To increase the odds. So what do people do? The big company with a lot of resources, they will send 10 ships, a lot of ships, just to beat the odds, make something work. You don't want to wait for 10 years, nothing works. They won't put the 10 ships, maybe in 10 years, one will work, right? That's the idea. So it's, this is really a game of burning money, right? And interesting thing is, once somebody finds something, the little island, okay, and then everybody follows. Okay. From the financial investment and marketing perspective, nothing wrong with that because you want to reduce the risk. You want to go with a certain proven path. But the problem is when everybody does that, there's not much money actually left for the innovation ideas. And also the whole thing is like you're not really delivering the drugs probably a lot of patients want to deal with their like daily life pain. So our solution is we're using AI. We're using the buzzword we heard called agentic AI to solve the problem. So overall, this agentic AI system, each box here more or less representing a human's role. So when we coordinate putting all the AI together, what this agentic AI system does is actually it replaces the entire humans research team, R&D team, but at much, much faster speed, much, much bigger scope, and yet just a fraction of cost. Going back to the analogy, right? With that, we do not need to have a big crew. And the turbo engine of the kind of jet and the boat can give you the speed, give you the even give you the flight if you want. Is kind of equipped with GPS, right? It help you reduce your random search. Yeah, I think one thing I'm going to go back to that one is, believe it or not, today with the AI system, a one-person company, pharmaceutical company, is possible. Next page, please. Well, in terms of market size, I think this is like probably no doubt the market is enormous. We'll have a lot of cash flows. I'm pretty sure our company, if we do well, if we kind of validate, show value to people, we will have very strong cash flows, no doubt, because the market is enormous. The market is real. The problem is real. If we can help people solve the problem. So we have revenue model. We take a dual revenue model strategy. On the short term, we'll apply our platform to help other people to do their projects. We collect project fees. This short-term strategy. In the long run, probably mostly in 2-3 years, I think a lot of things in our pipeline will come to a stage which can generate very huge upside for us. That's kind of long-term strategy. We'll talk about 2-3 years. The team, I'm really proud of it. Can you go back one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. First of all, myself, I'm the founder, CEO of the company. I spent 20 plus years doing the technology work in different sectors, finance, fintech, and technology sectors to help to transform industries that I used to work at. Then I kind of retired from my old job, retired from my corporate life. Then I kind of fully dedicated myself to my company right now, Medicine AI. In terms of education, it spans from, you can see from chemistry to computer science to finance to business. And also very fortunate to have a very strong team of advisors. Take one example, Jian Feng, he is my classmate in Nanjing University. He is actually one of the best scientists in the field nowadays. Like distinguished professor at his school. He's a fellow of many national academies, and Stanford can rank him as top 2% of all the scientists in his field. Top 2% is the highest tier. They don't do 0.1, something like that. And the other advisors are also very outstanding in their own fields. And also, this is actually not the complete list. For some reason, I cannot show all the complete list. I actually collaborate with the world-class researchers at NIH and University of Chicago and Texas A&M and Medicine School, and a lot of collaborations. And also very important call outs. Those are not just advisors, people like give me the consultant service. Those are people, many of them, they work with me. I work with them. We are working together to discover new drug together using our AI platform. The AI platform has a wide range of capabilities, and those are just a few of them. It's very good at, very efficient at target identification, prioritization. It can design small molecule or biologics. It has very strong capability of predicting ADC therapeutics effect. Every day, again, go back to the early page, right? I actually ask myself, why should our company even exist, right? I think that we must be existing for reasons. On level one, which is kind of technological foundation level, which is we really believe that our agentic AI is much more efficient than any legacy system. That's like level one. Then level two is, I mentioned earlier, it's not just about the technology, it's also about organization. Today, as we know, you get the new AI model come out every month, every quarter. You have to have a very lean structure, very lean organization to innovate, to incorporate newest, best AI models. If you are small, you are able to do it. When you become very big company, very likely you cannot adapt that fast. And the third thing, right, the engagement model. We all know, we hear this from early speakers, from the audience question. I don't think anybody thinks that, at least for now, maybe for multiple years, AI can do everything human does. This is also something I learned more and more during my interaction, during my work with different partners. AI, if we do well, it may deliver probably 95% of what you want, but still remaining 5% is critical. It's the difference between success and failure. And that remaining 5% must be delivered by humans touch, very tailored, very engaged way with your customer. And just like generic system, one does for everybody, one fits all, it's not going to work, at least in today's world. Again, talking about our dual revenue streams. On the stream one, starting May 2025, we have 3 projects in the pipeline. Again, those will be the things that generate highest potential in the 2-3 year time frame. And I'm also in discussion with multiple companies to start projects with them. This is also meaningful to us because this is going to help us strengthen the company's financial footing and also help us validate our platform and also help us to use our platform to help others, to help our partners to speed up their discoveries, to help our partners to reduce their R&D costs. It's doing the good for everybody. Here is a quick snapshot of our current pipeline. We have project 1, which is in the lead optimization stage, and we have 2 more projects. 2 and 3, they are in the hit identification stage. Again, actually, I'm not worried about the market opportunity. Market opportunities are huge for any of the projects we're working on. What we need to do, prove ourselves, deliver the effective drug. That's what we need to do. And over time, our pipeline will grow in 2 dimensions, right? Those ones will continue to move forward, hopefully. And I'm pretty sure we have the bandwidth to take more projects to add into their pipeline. So this is the thing I mentioned about earlier, right? Is that fantasy, have a 1-person company? No, it's not. Even today, this is like just come at the right time. A couple of weeks ago, we heard the news, a company with a sole employee and the founder who was a chemist for many years, who got a little bit experience in venture capital, he raised $75.5 million in Series A. He's just one-person company. So as a conclusion, right, I think we do have a killer platform technology which can deliver drug discovery much, much more efficiently than existing technology can do. Do that for ourselves, do that for our project partners. Where our edges, where our leads, it's not just technology. Remember, it's not just technology. It's your organization structure. It's how you engage with the customers. All three things together actually make a difference. We believe we have a very sound, healthy path, how to grow the company, how to bring the company to be profitable, and later how to make the company become like high yield return for everybody, right? We do believe we have that kind of opportunity. And again, it's not just AI. We believe what's going to work is the combination of the best AI and the best human expertise. And we have that. And finally, I think, I'm done with my pitch, and I look forward to everybody's feedback. And I'm very excited to build the future together with everybody.
All right, thank you. I'll turn to our entrepreneurial advisors. So who wants to start?
Yeah, actually, Kevin's project has been presented in the community a few times, so it's become a well-known a product, and also did well today's presentation. Give him another round of applause. Yeah, actually, as he has mentioned, drug discovery, even earlier speaker has mentioned as well, drug discovery is become very important application field for AI. And there are AI tools has been developed every month, even every week. And recently, ChatGPT also going to develop a agent version. And also
already released.
Already released. Okay, yeah, right. So things can happen very fast. And also DeepMind under Google, they also announced they're going to get into drug discovery with their AI tools, because they are very famous. Even their founder is 2024 Nobel Prize winner. They are AI expert, but they are developing some amazing results in medical field. That's why they got the chemistry Nobel Prize. So just maybe give audience a little more information about those latest powerful tools, how those tools could be impact your development, or how you can incubate those later tools in your system.
Yeah. None of those tools are my competitors in any way directly. Actually, I'm the beneficiary of many tools. For example, because Google DeepMind has AlphaFold, I can utilize that to do the protein folding very effectively, right? So in the way that those companies, they build tools, they build the foundations, but they are not in the direct application of drug discovery. So that's like also I mentioned earlier on, there's no generic solution. You cannot just expect one tool, one company does all the discovery from end to end for you. Not yet, at least for many years we can see. So it's about how you really integrate all the tools intelligently, how you tailor it, how you train your model on the top of their tools, and then you meet your customers' need, right? You solve your own particular problems. That's kind of very important. Those are Google. I have such kind of deep admiration to the company. They break the foundation. They provide the foundation for everybody to benefit. But we are the companies really build the application on top of that, customize it, and make it useful for the real case, for the pharmaceutical application. I think that's number one thought. Number two thought on that is, this industry is also very interesting. I'm not scared of, worry about competition in many ways. Why is that? Again, going back to the analogy, the whole thing, the life science, drug discovery, is ocean. Nobody going to boil the ocean. There's so many islands you can explore. There's so many undiscovered mechanisms you can discover, right? Even talking about today, when talking about the disease treatments, we know a lot of treatment just like extend people's life a little bit, like make the terminal life, extend the, less terminal or a little bit better. Even there's so many such kind of problems are not solved yet. But over time, if we solve those kind of problems, what's next? People do not just want to treat the terminal diseases. People want to have better quality of life. People want to have pain-free life, right? People want to have a longevity. I know, like Doc Jack, probably your company involved that space already, right? So those kind of huge space, there's no like concern in anyhow competition. I invite everybody, all the people who want to do the research, they probably should even leave the big pharma, join the journey, like start their own companies, work with AI. Because I think this is a new paradigm. You do not need to work with the big farmers. Okay, you have a 50 people team, you spend 10 years, you maybe discover something, you may discover nothing. Why are you doing that? You can start your own company like the guy did. He used to work at a German Merck. He left. He opened his own company. He just in a few years, he raised almost $80 million, right? I think this is a new paradigm. People should, all the big pharma paradigm is not cost effective. They are too slow to adopt changes. Should be like one person, maybe 3 people person drive the innovation. Because old days you're limited by the data, you're limited by technology. Today with AI, that's not the case anymore. You can drive very long way. Yeah.
So maybe we can ask some questions first, right?
Sure.
Clarify question. So Kevin, I see this very well presented and very well thought through. One big congratulations, you got the medicine.ai. That's a very good name. That's halfway done. And let me ask you this. It seems that you thought the whole thing through, right? I can see that. And do you have any questions for us, right? Anything, any questions, any thing you think we can help? Anyone here can help.
Right. Definitely. We may probably talk many hours long, right? But I probably just ask one simple question because, all of you have similar experience, right? I took my decision, took the liberty, kind of retired from old corporate life, starting my own journey, the company. I know you, like Victor, Dalton and James, Dr. Harry Young, you probably also have your own company, right? I want to learn from you because you are ahead of me in terms of running the company. And what are the maybe advice you may have for me? I'm still early in my journey for this kind of startup, like everything on my own journey. So
I have a question if it's open to the public.
Sorry, just for a moment. Yeah, not yet.
Maybe I think not like advice. That's my experience. I think that's I'm not an expert on AI, but our company do work on AI for 4 years, and we mainly focus on the drug development. As Troy mentioned, AI right now kind of it is used as a tool, maybe to increase efficiency in its good application. I agree with you. That's AI has a lot of potential. It can revolutionize the drug development, and that's definitely for sure. And there are a lot of opportunities, but that's it's really competitive. I also agree with you that some lean team, they may have high efficiency. They have their niche, to prevail in some directions. But I also want to emphasize that the big company, big pharma, they do have a lot of resources. They have their talents. We actually cannot compete with them, especially for AI. I think we need a lot of data. For drug development,
it basically different company, they have their own data set. They do not want to share with others. Like recently, FDA released some like CRL letters, and that's actually did not happen before. I mean, that's we can learn a lot from the field clinical trial. Like when we develop some drug, if you have more data, say showing that this drug has some toxicities, then for the drug development, actually you can avoid it. But the major bottleneck problem for me, I think maybe it's just data. How can a small company can get more data? I mean, of course, that's I think my point is that we need to find our main focus. Maybe not many people or many companies are focusing on it, but we have our own niche. Like for me, I work on AAV gene therapy back to like 6 years ago when we started. A lot of companies, they work on the AAV virus manufacture, they work on therapeutic development. But at that time, we focused on how to increase the AAV gene therapy efficiency. So not many people were focusing on that. But nowadays, a lot of gene therapy companies fail because the efficiency was not high enough and they experienced a lot of problems. So now people realize that our direction actually is the bottleneck. They come back to work on that, but we already developed some new technologies. That's what I want to see. We, as a small startup company, we need to focus. We need to find our expertise. Maybe a small niche we can prevail in the long run. Just like a DeepSeek, they do the distillation, right? Distillation, they can actually works better than ChatGPT. I mean, on some specific area. So, yeah, that's my experience, my comments.
Thank you. Dr. Yang, do you want to speak?
I think that it is an honor to give a chance to speak in this case. I think I knew Kevin since we started this club. By that club establishment, and we knew each other, and we immediately feel his work is very remarkable. And I think that you can see from his presentation, he in this, I like to similar to the choice talk. First thing is people. So from my personal experience exchange with Kevin, I think that's a person I like to work with. You can see his experience and his previous working experience now is totally, retired from the previous corporate job and started a new company. So that is, you need the courage, you need the knowledge, you need the energy to make this happen, and he did. So that's the first thing I feel. That's the person I love to work with. Second, and he also find the area he is interested, and even not only the interested, and he can make the contribution to that area. That's also, I appreciate that. It's a drug discovery. It's everyone knew this is not easy. Okay, you in the past it's always 10 years, 100 millions. Come up with the first one drug. It's not easy. But now, probably using the AI, we can reduce the cost and we can shorten the period. That's a good thing for all the people, for the whole globe, for the whole world. So that is a good business. So that's a direction I'm also very positive. And he selected a very good direction to go. And also the team. And frankly speaking, that he's presented the team. I have the fortune to contact with them, it's a good team. They have their own expertise and have the tremendous, experience. So these kind of team and, based on choice theory, good people, good team, that's the first thing I love to invest. If I'm the investor, I will invest. Okay. So this is the from the people, from the direction of the company, and also from the approach. I don't know you guys pay attention or not. He has a two approach. One is provide the service. So in current stage, not many company is aware or have reached to the use AI to develop the design of the new molecule yet. But at least you can use the AI to improve their product. And how to improve the product performance, that's still a challenge for the industry. So provided the service, that's a great approach. So the second one is he also wants to develop his own product. That's even more challenge. But I very admire his courage. He can say that and he can do that. That's great. So these two approach also I very supportive. So to be an advisor, I think it's very great. But I do have my suggestion for his consideration. Based on his talk, everything is based on how to integrate the current knowledge and the current data and try to find the best way to cut the road short to reach the level you want. But my question is, how can, biology is not a fully developed science yet. Okay? It's not like the physics, not like the mathematics or chemistry. Most of, you can say 95% is established already. But the biology, so far, even you look at the book, textbook is such a thick. But I think the biology, whatever from the molecular level, genetic level, the cellular level, it's not fully developed yet. So if we have these not established question and the problem, and you use these data, how can you creatively solve these problems? So that is a challenge for your AI. Your AI got to be very creative to address the issue it's never addressed before. That is, I think, his work is challenged in the future. Okay, you look at the why we need the precision medicine, and why we need all these things. That means the one drug is not fit to everyone. You always have the difference, so that's the difficulty for the systematically to study the biology, and that's the very difficult part. This is the one, and the second issue is also the challenges. We, as Cho said, we don't want the over regulation, but we cannot without regulation. And how can we, right now the AI generates a lot of garbage stuff. And how can we make sure we use our platform, use our AI tools, we will not generate the garbage. And that is another big issue is how to use the biology, use the experimental biology to validate your performance. And that's also important. I think so from the advisor viewpoint, I would think these two challenges is very important for his company's success in the future. So, and that is not currently he can solve it, or I can solve it, or you can solve it. We need to work together to make the biology is more established, more successful. That is, create the whole for the whole human being. That will be very nice to have.
Thank you. Thank you. Kevin, would you like to respond or?
Yeah, I do. First of all, Dr. Yang, appreciate your support all the time. Since we met each other, you're being very, like always, very straightforward and but always very supportive. I mean, what you said is 100% correct. At the short term, and right now, at current stage, we're using AI as an efficiency tool because it can read faster, think faster, analyze data, probably minutes faster, times faster than humans, right? We're utilizing that to reduce the labor-intensive work. We let the AI do the work, right? I think what you're asking is even next level.
Yeah.
We're not
creative.
Creative. I think we're not there yet. I see the possibility of that because a lot of things you talk about biology mechanism. I think the promise of AI is like look at all the big set of data, clinical trial data, chemical data, gene data, and like pathways, build a network, kind of trace out what are the like connections between diseases, what are upstream factors, what downstream factors. Building the like big network will be something I'm sure AI can do, but take some refine it, make it useful, and verify it's valid. Then like Daojian, what you said, I also like feel super relevant, right? Data. I kind of even before I start a business, you know what I did first? I will ask myself, if I start a business, do I have data? I spent actually several months exploring all the data, different choices. And at one side, it's true, big farmers has more data, but the other side is this is the greatness of American society. Also, the government agencies, in Europe, they publish a lot of data, which is enough for you to start your own business, to train your model. And like when I have no data, I ask myself, can you find a creative way, find more data? Often the case is yes, you can find data what you want. Then the chemical, like the properties, right? Yeah, again, the big pharma definitely has advantage. They have like probably 100 millions of libraries of the chemicals. But then we're blessed with AI because I kind of also this part of my search, right? If I don't have the chemical properties that big pharma has, what I do, I actually keep searching, keep developing new AI models, which can predict enemy properties very, very well, probably like over 90% accurate. So that's kind of, another way to solve the data limitation thing. But another thing I just want to say one more point. I totally agree with you. Even in our start business, I tell people when I initially present this presentation to people, I tell people my platform can do everything for you, okay? Now I don't say that anymore. I just tell people, hey, like 4 use cases, like target identification, and actually I focus a lot on small molecule and biologics designs. And I also focus a lot on ADC modeling because I built my own ADC models, which can predict the potency, predict the stability, and the bystander effect, right? This nobody else has. I have my own model. I built those models using some AI tools, right? So I really, I know like getting niche, getting my customers, getting my like early drug candidates, that's important because I am just a one-person company. I cannot do everything. I need to focus on something, get something realized, right? So definitely, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I should talk to you earlier. Like finding the niche is something I gradually realized by exploring, talking to a lot of people. I'm kind of, tailoring myself to that direction, 100%.
Yeah, I think you should emphasize that.
Yeah.
I mean that when you talk to people, like most of us were at a loss, that we don't know what make you stand out, right? If you say that your system can read the literature
and get a conclusion, maybe design or like using AlphaFold to get the structure. I mean, that will make you like stand out, make the audience more clear what are you doing. And yeah,
He gave a technical talk last night.
yeah, but I mean, for the pitch, you need to make the people understand what you are doing and think it should be clear and
it's a balance.
So I feel couple of things, right? A few things, right? Because I've heard the Kevin talk, the detailed technique, and this. So this one is not a pitch for money. And that's why I was asking what I was trying to get from us, right? And we've gone through this. Many don't know, I actually had a medicine company who actually brought one medicine to the market. So a couple of things. You said you work on this for a year and then another half year to polish, validate it, right? So you yourself was a technical person. Now you're also playing the CEO, the board member. So I see your clear path here. You have 3 projects. I assume you identified 3 drug targets. Now you are doing probably the preclinical trial stage, right?
Before that.
Before that, right? But my question, so a couple of things. One is that although for the platform, you're one person is fine, but if you have to do this clinical trial, right? Would you need someone there at least to speed it up, right? That's one thing. Second thing is for this drug discovery, if there's money, right? Are you at a stage already start asking for money, right? If you have money, have people, would that make it faster, right? So that's the team thing, right? I can see your teams, everybody's researcher. You obviously have data, you have management, you rise up to VP in a big, large team, right? That's very rare, both technical, and managerial. But you are the one also develop the platform. Are you able to do both? So my overall feeling is that there's big competition from big farm, and a lot of people from big farm, they're going to jump out, have their own company. And China is a huge company. They don't sleep, right? And
I don't sleep either.
So you have big company. So main thing, the speed, right? What can help you to speed up in those drug discovery in this platform selling or make it more complete, more powerful?
Victor, I mean, I don't sleep, okay? That's not true. Every day, my regular schedule is 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. I start work. Hours that go out running. Every week I run 32 miles and then play tennis for hours. I don't sleep, okay? My wife saying you are crazy, okay? I don't sleep, okay? That's true. So the thing is, Victor, you are absolutely right. I'm playing the role like CEO, marketing role in my daytime. I go out, meet people, drive here and there, conference calls. Then I spend the night, early morning, weekends, I'm doing all the coding. So, the fortunate thing is nowadays with the internet, you hear the stories from all the other people, successful people. That's what a lot of Silicon Valley, like CEO, what they did, right? Like Hastings, he was like CEO in the morning and the night, just he was the only programmer. That was my mode in many ways. And also, I'm fortunate, actually, for me, it's not just computer. Probably I didn't make it clear. Because I had collaboration with those researchers, they have wet lab. So I propose molecules. The wet lab guy, they actually synthesize the molecule because it doesn't exist. It's the novel molecule. So then they will synthesize the molecule. Then we find a lab, do the assays, right? So I'm kind of make things oversimplified. I do a lot of designs, but I do have partners in the research institutes, in the companies. They can actually make this molecule physical and do the experiments, verify it works or not, right? But that's like current stage. And do I need the money or not? Of course, more money is good. But I'm kind of in the mindset is I should be able to support my company, continue to run in 2 years without the money, external money, just my own pocket. That's my like starting point. But definitely, the speed is critical. I want to have more capital so that I can hire maybe another 2 engineers, right? They help me to speed up features. I have like maybe features, new things I want to develop in my mind, right? I'm kind of packed. I cannot do all those. I hope maybe a couple of developers who are dedicated, who can help me to implement those things. And yeah, I need to have probably more people help me to deal with compliance, regulatory filing as we can come to the point. All things happening, but just like, yeah, I'm like open to investment if it's right term and good for us to focus on things we want to do. But at the same time, I'm kind of prepared. No funding for 2 years. Again, I heard, yeah.
That's the thing. If you have someone who can, write a business plan, right? So we have this much money, we can hire these 2 developers. If people help us with compliance, this help in the trial. We put together that, have pitch deck. I think you have a very good chance to get funding. I think that Dr. Yang will invest.
Oh, yes.
Take my pen.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, maybe add a couple sentences.
We have another question online. I did notice, but
I just want to quickly summarize. First, a lot of people give good comments, summary, and appreciate all the speakers this morning. And also, I would like to appreciate all the audience for the weekend to come over here.
Yeah.
And also, I want to put the name to the face. First one is Dr. Yang. Maybe you raise your hand. We have spent time to introduce, but never put the name to the face, right?
Sorry. Yes.
So,
thank you.
and
Good
also
point.
turn around to online.
Yeah.
Second one is a Dr. Wang. Yeah. Third is a Dr. Yu. Yeah. My name is James Bo. I'm the one of the hosts in this building, and I have office upstairs, and there's a space I'm also created for community use, and welcome everybody to come here. And also, I just want to spend half minutes to respond what Kevin was asked for before. It's very critical because running a business and working for a business is totally different. There are a lot of good comments I don't want to repeat because of sake of time. But just one thing I would like to point out is when you work for a company, work for a job, you really work your strength, right? So if you have very strong point, the company recognize you, they use you, and you play your good role, and then grow with the company, because company has a great platform for you. But when you run your company, your strength is not enough. When you run your company, really the weakness is you need to watch for. If you have one single weak point, your company could be break. Because from a little over 10 years ago, I started run startup competition, involve a lot of startups. So there are some good companies you see on the news and say, hey, it's so easy, just almost overnight you become success. But unfortunately, they are one of the 10,000 companies. There are, one company become star, maybe hundreds of fails. So we need to really careful your weakness. You need to really think about how to cover your weakness in order for the business to be success. That's the only point I want to make. And and based on that topic, can extend a lot of details. And I had a book for it. Welcome to look for my book.
It's hard to sell your book, right?
You gotta wait for it.
Yeah, so I do think we wanted to give 1 or 2 questions before we wrap this up, and I would like to give the first question to the online audience. And really sincere apology for the technical difficulty tonight for our online audience. And thank you for your understanding and patience. I would now go to Jennifer. You asked the question here. Do you want it to come off and ask your question? Come off mute. I'm not hearing. Maybe she dropped off. So I'll just ask the question for her. How do you think FDA new tool, ELSA, with yours?
Just be clear, I understand. Is there ELSA like digital human, digital twin thing for the FDA, or is this
Sorry, not FDA, FAD. Sorry. How do you think FAD new AL tool, ELSA, with yours?
not familiar with ELSA? Could somebody clarify what's that about?
The ELSA is FDA the one tool for the regulatory.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Still in testing stage.
yeah, is that like FDA is more like review, right?
No,
Review
not for
clinical
review.
findings. Is
No,
that?
that's not for review. Review have different tool.
I see.
Yeah, this is just for for your regulatory to use for helping, not for review.
Okay. Yeah.
Not like ChatGPT.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but but honestly, like think about that, right? One thing again, I keep talking about how my scoring prediction on ADC can even help the regulator. This is one thing I'm actively working on. I'm going to actually file some application with FDA saying, hey, I have such a tool, help you screen ADC candidates. You don't need to go with that long, to do everything, because my tool already can tell you, the safety profile, efficacy profile with very good, confidence level, right? So I don't know how FDA does it exactly. I'm not really answering the question, but I think FDA should do it using computer prediction, using computer kind of evaluation to speed up the whole process. But again, this field is huge. There are so many things you can do based on your particular use cases.
Okay, thank you. Then one last question, Lian.
Okay, last question.
Oh, sorry.
So, first of all, I'm not in your field, and this is the first time I hear your talk and first time I meet you. My question is very simple: is what that you can do that others cannot, and what is the strength of your company?
In theory, everybody can do everything, right?
Oh no.
I know. I know your question because I hear this. Okay.
Yeah.
In theory, everybody can do everything, and I think to my point, to my view is, I'm specialized in many different ways. Look at myself. I have the background in PhD research for chemistry before I switched to computer science, to AI, which build a model for financial applications and for technology sectors. I have proven record of being successful building technology and being a leader in technology. And I have the right team, partner with researchers, companies. I have the resources which actually help me to validate my ideas, validate my computer models. I'm not just talking about computer model, nobody can validate or not. I have immediate way to validate whether my molecules work or not, which also provide feedback loop, right, to my data. I'm going to, train my model, make it better. And, also to Dr. Yang's point, in the end, a lot of things is about the quality, it's about, who you are, who your teams are. And, the technologies are available for everybody, for big organizations, small organizations, for you, me, for whoever, right? Then can you really adopt it? Can you tweak it? Can you make it work for the customers, right? Again, I don't believe the technology can solve the problem end to end. It may solve 90%, 95%, but you have to be the people, you have to be the team to talk to the customer and make it go from, 5% not working to 100% works, right? Again, I think you have to be fast. You have to be listening to the customer, and that's how we do it.
I think a good service definitely is necessary. It will make it a success. Okay, thank you.
So I can help answer a little bit, right? I know
Okay, yeah.
Kevin is expert in data in AI for a long time, right? He's been the first one to apply AI in Capital One, and then was leading Red Venture, one of the global data company, as a VP there, leading their data renovation algorithm. And he was seeking to apply this AI and data where and finance, right? But then he has a chemistry PhD track, did not get PhD, and so he knows chemistry molecule, and it's that combination. And I would say Kevin's ambitious, restless. He's keep constantly want to reinvent himself. He was in a, he's already exactly positioned. Very few Chinese ever reached that level, right? He just quit, start his company doing this. That's the quality. That's why Dr. Yang is willing to invest his personal money.
You have to stop from like invest. Stop there. That's best. If you invest his personal life, that's money. What down the quality? Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. It's your.
I don't know. It's thanks, Kevin. It's first time to hear. I don't know. My question or maybe some checkpoint you want to make it. I'm observing the commercial model for AI industry these days. Okay, I found there's two interesting things, totally extreme, interesting things. Okay, one is called per user. Okay, the other is per company. Okay, so for the company, usually we develop called customized solution, very customized. One of the successful examples is called Plantier. Maybe you buy the stocks. Okay, it's so customized. I read some of this material recently. It's hard to imagine. We were talking about the investing world and talking about you think, oh, it's your product. It's used by it's so universal, used by many people. Okay, so but his product, his customers is about thousands, not many, but he get recurring revenue from all his clients. His AI company, okay, they big data and the AI company, and he's doing very, he basically really help the company, big companies, okay, to save money or make money. This is one extreme. I don't it's so push to so extreme. Okay, the other extreme is push the users. Okay, I was sharing last night. Okay. One of the examples is called Cursor. You may want to study his product and his business model. Okay, he's help people to write code. Okay, but why he's so grown up so much is because those developers have passion and interest to use the product. Okay, so for you things like here, I'm thinking is that maybe 2 points. Okay, you need to make some decision at an early stage, which way you want to go. Okay, you want, for example, you can aggregate. I'm not in your area, so who develop drugs and people who are so passionate and so interested and try to want to come to your platform and say, I want to develop some drugs. Even for me, I knew nothing about drugs. Okay, so if this way is per user perspective, that means you can grow from user perspective. But if not, if saying that I have to deal with big companies, so many strong companies, okay, I have to make them, you do much better than their own employees, their own teams. Okay, that's also another aspect. Maybe I raise some checkpoint. Okay, and this checkpoint maybe is in your mind. Okay, so which direction do you want to go? Okay, that's very important. Okay, you cannot sit in the middle. Sitting in the middle is nothing. It's like that. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for bringing that. With that, I think we finished our agenda. The except for the lunch social. I think the lunch is ready.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I know we run over an hour and terrible in terms of keeping it on the on time, but I do see that we have a lot of great talks and great discussions and questions. So I hope you enjoyed it. And now let's enjoy lunch. And at the same time, we'll also, keep talking and connecting. Thank you.
Add one word. I think we really needed to appreciate the audience because this is a Saturday and everyone came from far away to here. And I heard I even don't know my friend sent the message to me. A couple people from the Johns Hopkins came here to join this. This is far away from the Baltimore to drive here. Who is these two people? Okay, if
No.
okay, then that's fine. I just want to appreciate the ideas.
I speak on behalf of audience. I'm an audience today. I really appreciate your organizer. This is the best event I have attended for past a while.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wanted we maybe take a picture together.
All together, yeah.
Yeah, not all together. Yeah, go back. Sit there, right there.
Yeah. Also, after you take the lunch and come back to this room, because we'll still have some talks.
Yeah, well, the member activity after lunch.
Thank you, everyone online. We
yeah.
now will turn
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the in-person only. Thank you for your participation.
That was some picture that